that. Clean, clean, clean. Singing the song of Psalms. Place my palm upon a pond. I'm waiting in waters with a wave that'll calm a storm. Could the words of God ever be enough? I'm finding it plenty. Details I couldn't just make up. It reminds me of Fenty. Comforted by your voice. Sweet as a pint of Talenti. Opened up my mind some time ago. You would find it was filthy. Cleansed by the things he said. Rinsed by things I read. Drenched in the bloody shed. Dripping. Clean, clean, clean. I've been forgiven. To the springs to get the wisdom. Skinny dipping, floating in rivers. Watching the soul invictus, getting broke to shivers. Into the victors, go the biggest picture. Broken boys soaked in sin, make men that drown sorrows in gin. My sons be down like tomorrow begins. Deepen in rap isms. I had back-to-back baptisms and came up a wet black nigga. I had to fix it.
Wash them in that water. Clean, clean, clean them in that water. Don't wash them in that water. Gotta wash them in that water. Clean, clean, clean them in that water. Send me not to baptize, but to preach the gospel to the church. That it might be sanctified with the cleansing by the water, with the word. With the cleansing by the water, with the word. With the cleansing by the water, with the word, with the word. Won't you rain it down? Won't you rain it down? On us. Rain it down. Ooh. Wash me in that water. Clean, clean, clean them in that water. Don't wash them in that water. Wash them in that water. Clean, clean, clean them in that water. Don't wash them in that. Wash them in that water. Clean, clean, clean them in that water. Don't wash them in that water. Wash them in that water. Clean, clean, clean them in that water. Don't wash them in that. Just leave me here. They searching for the answers, I'm gonna make them clear. They searching for the answers, I'm gonna take them there. I'm bringing out the scriptures, they say no, not here. No, not here. Now we here. Talking in circles, man, they talking fear. I'm like what you saying, it's just the Bible, man. See, they won't understand, no, no, no. They just won't understand, no.
Yeah, this world is so wicked, it got my mind gone. But we been flipping through scriptures, it got my mind blown. Since we back on the mission with our forefathers' traditions, and we been painting the pictures like the time drawn. Yeah, this world is so wicked, it got my mind gone. But we been flipping through scriptures, it got my mind blown. And since we back on the mission with our forefathers' traditions, and we been painting the pictures like the time drawn. I done been tried in that fire and made it out.
Hey, shalom, Israel. Shalom, 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 shalom. Alright, we back with another week of Let's
Talk Truth.
Today you got myself, Officer Emmanuel,
Officer Baruch.
Officer Ezra.
Officer Zachariah.
Officer Isaiah.
Hey, his real name is Officer Pine Bluff.
Did you say your name?
I did.
Oh, okay, I'll
Yes,
pray.
sir.
So I'll pray to the Most High. We back with a very, very good topic this
Right.
week, alright?
Right.
It is the black culture of today a white agenda? What does this mean?
Right.
So, what we look at as black culture, right? Or what black people be caught up in. The best NBA players, the best NFL players, the hottest artists. You know what I'm saying? The
Biggest
finest
boxer.
women on TV. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. You know, ice, jewelry,
Right.
cars,
Right.
fashion.
Right.
That's black culture
Right.
today.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the stuff that matter to our people the most. So is that an agenda of the oppressor?
Is it?
Yes.
Because you got to think, before slave ships, before the slave trade, do you honestly think when we was on that side of the world that all of that was our culture?
Right.
Hell no.
Is that even a real culture?
Bring it out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we gonna dig into it. Is the black culture of today a white agenda? Word on. Alright, so before we get into that, make sure y'all share,
Right.
comment,
Right.
like.
Like.
You know what I'm saying? Put us out there, you know what I'm saying? Because Lord's willing, soon, we elevate. You know?
Right. Hey, it's a brother from damn, I forgot his name. From Tupelo. He said he might call in because he watches. So call in, man. Let us hear what you got too.
Right.
That's right.
Juvia. Alright,
Tupelo.
Tupelo. Hey, call in today and share. Let your mama know what we talking about today. Alright?
That's right.
So before we get into the topic, y'all already know what come before that. The
Right.
reality radar. Alright, we deal with the latest news going on in the world dealing with our people. So we gotta come with off the jump. The hottest thing on the internet.
That's
You know what I'm saying? And it's a crying shame. Sister, because what's funny? Like, she was kinda like about a decade ago.
Right.
She was like damn near like the face of black beauty. Like she
Right.
was a great example of what it meant to be dark skinned and beautiful. And even natural, right?
Right.
And now all of a sudden, out of the damn blue,
But why?
you know what I'm saying? She wanted to cremate herself.
The hell is
So let's get that on the screen, man. Let's get that post on the screen. So now I want the caption with it. I want y'all to see what the brother said. All right. So he posted a picture of our dear sister, the tennis star. She the reason why people care about tennis.
Right.
She the only reason why black people know about tennis. All right, her and her sister Venus. All right, Serena Williams. Now, as you can see, can we get an old picture of her so people can know, what's the deal behind us addressing her, in that state. Let's get a wow.
What the?
Just Google her, bro. It's got the old ones gonna come up.
Older picture.
Took the long route. She just changed her face last week.
Brothers
OLDER.
be nervous.
Come on, man.
Nervous.
Sabrina.
Images. All right, now look.
Wow.
Now, all right, click on that. Well, nah, pick a better picture.
Click the fist bump right there.
Okay. All right. So now look. All right. So you see a dark complected, natural, you know what I'm saying, black woman, right?
Right.
She was successful. Brothers always, she was in songs.
Right.
Drake, she had a thing with Drake.
Right.
All of that, right? So now look at her. Zoom in, make it bigger. Look at her.
Right.
Come on now. Y'all can't do it?
Right click.
Uh-oh.
You should be able to pull a separate link up.
Bring it down.
Oh, praise. All right, now look at her. Look at her.
All right.
Now go back to the Facebook.
Oh, what the, oh.
Wow. Wow. All right, so now look at her. That's the same person.
That's not her.
She about 15 shades lighter.
No.
She got blunt. You know what
scoot
movie?
it up.
Me and my wife just watched the movie like earlier this morning.
Okay.
It was called, it was like 4 a.m. we watched it. Our sleep schedule throwed off whatever because I work overnight. But we watched this movie called Bad Hair, the one that Deacon Malachi had mentioned.
Right.
Yeah.
So we watched it. She had already watched it before me, but we had watched it together this morning. And it was heavy. It was just going into like how that puts spirits on women.
Right.
To where it ain't even, after a certain point, it's just their body. It ain't them. For real, like, it's deep. I don't want to go all into it.
It's the hair for me.
But basically,
But why?
you know what I'm saying? Looking at that, it's like, that's not Serena Williams.
Right at all. Look,
You know what I'm saying?
scary.
Okay. You ever seen the movie Planet of the Apes?
I saw it.
That ape looked just like that. It was like a pair. I mean, I'm saying it. She
Nah,
just,
scroll up to the caption.
It's a
Scroll
look.
up. Scroll up to the caption. So it said, y'all check on Serena Williams.
Some gone.
Because exactly, something is terribly wrong here.
This is America.
Something is terribly wrong here. Now let's check out some comments on this post. Let's check out.
I bet you got
She
some
got
shit
two
under there.
tones.
So
bro.
now check this out. Now look, Gabriel Judah. Y'all know this brother. We don't know. We know him or not. But he said he seemed like a wise brother, right?
He do.
He says, "When will we stop envying our oppressors' features and love our own?" He posted a scripture. Can we get that scripture?
Right.
Proverbs chapter 3, verse 31. Let's read that thing. All right, let's read that. Read what you got.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 3, and verse 31.
Come on.
Envy thou not the oppressor.
Say what?
Envy thou not the oppressor.
So the envy means to covet or have a desire something that God didn't give to you.
Right.
God did not give Serena Williams blonde hair.
Right.
Hell no.
He didn't give Serena Williams straight hair.
Right.
He didn't give Serena Williams pale skin. But she envied. Who has that? Who did God give that to, though?
Her husband.
Our oppressor. Right, her husband. You right. You right about that.
Hanging around her husband, mama, and all that.
Yeah.
Right.
So the scriptures say that you're not supposed to envy the oppressor. Right. That's what you see. Now, God did give her talent out of this world. Right. Beautiful melanin. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Dark skin. Right. Kinky hair as himself. Right. You know what I'm saying? For real. He blessed her. But all of that wasn't enough for our sister.
But why?
She felt like in order to feel truly empowered, she had to have certain attributes from the oppressor.
That's
but
heavy.
why?
That's
For
heavy
real.
because, like you said, to be empowered, and this is how, communication destroys us, this evil communication, because now she thinks she has to be somebody else in order to be treated properly. Because, leadership brought this out the other day, and they show videos of, like, the empowerment that her father gave her. But when her father got out of her life, just like all the other Negroes in the community that don't have a father, you start losing self-confidence. You don't have that person that can guide you properly. And then you conform to the world. Now you're starting to follow Esau and all the things they want in a sport that we're not really supposed to be in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
The absence of black fathers, it leads to, men and women of, of our race seeking, the desire from others.
Right.
So like you were saying, when her father exited her life, it was like, well, I'm not good enough. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Nobody's telling me this no more.
Yeah.
Right. But go to Sirach 30 because there's never an excuse to begin to hate yourself. Right. At the end of the day, you could suffer betrayal, being disliked, all type of stuff. But at the end of the day, you got to know who you are. And you got to take pride and joy in how God created you.
That's right.
Sirach chapter 30 and read verse 23.
The book of Sirach, chapter 30, verse 23. Love thine own soul.
What did God say?
Love thine own soul.
So that's the opposite of envying the oppressor. Right. So you see, we identify the problem.
Right.
But we also give the solution. And that's something that our black sisters and brothers need to understand and apply. We have to learn how to love our own soul. A big issue with us not having it, not typically doing that, is because we don't know who we are. Can we get Deuteronomy 7 and 6?
Bring it out.
This is a big part of our people lacking the love for their own soul because they don't understand what comes with having the soul that they have.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? For real, we born with power.
That's right.
We born on another level. We born at a God level.
That's right.
But with us not knowing that, all we see is we got a certain people in power, we inferior. You got what the media pushes beautiful, and you got what the media pushes, messed up, raggedy, ratchet. You see what I'm saying? So I'm and we're gonna dig into that deep in this episode, but the media has destroyed the minds of our people and have given us basically gave us our mind.
That's
the media
right.
has given us
Right.
our mind, but this is supposed to be what our mind is based off of. Read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6.
Come on.
But thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
So God said that we are in holy people, meaning we separate. God made us different
Right.
from everybody else. And he said, another scripture say, be ye holy as I am holy. So it's not just simply that we different. It's that we're different in a sense of we're like God
Right.
and they're not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're a holy people unto him. Read on.
The Lord thy God have chosen thee.
Have what?
Have chosen thee.
So the Lord chose you. He could have picked Esau. He could have been like, all right, so I'm going to use the red people. I'm going to give them woolly hair. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give them talent and ability, the strength and the speed and all of that. I'm going to have them excelling at everything and be the trendsetters in the earth. But no, he said, thou, meaning you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you Israelites, according to the Bible, thou,
Right.
you,
That's right.
Serena,
Bring it
Venus, you
Right.
are a chosen people. Read on.
The Lord thy God have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
And that's why we got to understand who we are because, I'm not taking no type of, slack off the Father. You know what I'm saying? For whatever he did, the damage, because a lot of us suffer from damage that happen within our families and close loved ones and relatives and stuff like that. We get abused, we get mistreated, so on and so forth.
Message.
But if you truly understand and you know at the end of the day, God say you special. You are special to the Most High God.
That's right.
None of that will beat you down to the point where you feel like you gotta be like the next race.
Hell no.
You gotta make yourself to where somebody else was created to be. No, you would never stoop down to that level if you understood that you were special to the Creator.
Right.
That's
For
right.
real, finish that verse.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
So God said that we are above our people. We should never want to stoop down to the levels of them because God made us above them. All right? The first author of beauty have created us in his image.
Right.
Go ahead, officer.
Hey, jump up to verse 33. Verse 3. Because the point you were saying, like, we don't feel with no confidence in saying, hey, God chose us. God loves us. He made us in the same image as him. So we don't associate ourselves with him because we start envying the oppressor and then we want to marry them. And this is what happens. Read what you got.
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 3.
Come on.
Neither shall they make marriages with them.
So the solution is to get out of that mindset. Don't deal with them. Don't marry them. But she fell into that trap. Read.
Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son.
Now, this is heavy because he didn't approve of that marriage.
Message.
The father didn't do that. But she was so hard struck and envying the oppressor, she said, screw my daddy. I'm going to do me. I'm going to do what go against God's laws. But keep going.
Nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son.
Why?
For they will turn away thy son from following me.
That's why they don't follow God no more. Now they following the oppressor. That's their God. They envy so strong in that. That's what happened. At the end of the day, that's what happened. Is that it on that?
That they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly.
Right. And a lot of times death can be destruction, but also mental destruction. That's why the brother said what did he say? What the dude say?
Check on
check
her.
on her. Somebody check. Something's going in her head.
She need a wellness check.
That's the Deuteronomy 28 curse. She's smitten with madness now. To change your skin tone, just like Sammy Sosa did. These people, man, like, you gotta be gone.
You would think, like, they content, like, they got that far in life and attained so much success being regular black.
Right. And that's heavy you saying that because that's my thought on that too. Like, if the industry you in is so hard and you made millions off of it, get out. Retire. Get away from that
That's
scene
right.
that's destroying you.
Right.
Why you putting yourself through that?
She loves it. Listen, I'm gonna say something though. Shame on you.
You lose.
Shame.
Good day, sir.
Shame. Let me tell you why. Because I'm gonna tell you something. All these young ladies out here that's following you.
Bring it out.
All these young sisters that's following you, and you're gonna lighten yourself up and change your hair. Shame on you.
You destroyed.
Come on now, dog.
Shame on you, Serena Williams.
And it was a young black sister coming up in that.
I get
Like
tired of you,
14,
bros.
15.
Oh, yeah.
What does she see?
Ain't
when
she
it's-
like
when-
top notch too?
Yes.
In the tennis
she
scene right
whooping
now.
tail.
Right.
But what does she see now?
Oh, I should have been like.
And then your sister went through the same thing now. And so your sister probably look up to you because even though she older, you better than her. Now she like, well, damn, you got a white husband. I'm gonna get a white husband. She dating a white dude.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Let's change everything.
This the point though. Like that's why we on this subject. Like they attacked Serena to get her to do that. Why? Because they know it was little girls coming up looking up to her. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? So now she walking around looking like what the brothers off of White Chicks.
Hell
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Looking just like them. And
We need to put that
what
up.
the young-minded females gonna think? You know what I'm saying?
And that's heavy too because, and you know why they did this. This is why the topic that we're going into is heavy because it's in it. It is an agenda of Esau. Because think about this. At first they were talking about let's breed her with LeBron James, but they couldn't do that.
Breed.
Well, they say let's destroy her and have her destroy all the other kids that look up to her.
And that's-
Let's
and
do
that-
something different then.
And that's what's heavy. You got it, officer? Proverbs 23:7.
Gotcha.
That's what's heavy because that's why we've been pleading with our brothers and sisters to come out of this evil, come out of Babylon. America gonna destroy your mindset. But if she understood this, she would have never did what she had to do, what she did, you know.
Right.
But that's what the scriptures say.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 23 and verse 7.
Come on.
For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he.
So whatever you think in your mind, that's what you become. So all this time, guess what she's been dealing with since she married the caveman? She's been thinking like one. So she said, hey, if I am one, I might as well look like one. Because I'm married to one. And this is why we tell sisters, leave the other nations alone. That's what's going to happen. You're going to destroy yourself. That's it.
All praise to the Most High. So, hey, that's why y'all got to stop ignoring the Israelites. Y'all
get out.
thinking that we trying
That's right.
to, push something weird or, whatever the case. And no, we literally telling you who you are, your true identity, your true nationality, because you see what we do when we lost. We try to turn ourselves into other nationalities. You know what I'm saying?
You said something. You said what they think what we do is weird.
Right.
To change your skin is weird.
Right.
That's weird.
That's right.
Exactly. Like that, it's sick. It has to be a sickness.
Right.
If y'all seen Angelina Jolie out the blue, just, come out with some brown skin
Right.
and some nappy hair, y'all would be like, what the hell is going on?
Exactly.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
For real, you would think like she is went mad. She
Right.
took some type of drug. You know what I'm saying? But this is becoming normal with our sisters. For
Look
real.
him.
Yeah. She the partner in the white. They the new white chicks.
Hey, radio crew, I got a picture on that Telegram. Post it
Yeah,
real quick.
pull it up, man.
Post it.
Pull it up. Pull it. Hey, if you about 25 and up, then you probably seen this movie or at least
Right.
heard about it. With the Wayans twins. They not twins, but y'all know
Right,
the
yeah.
Wayans brothers.
We know
Sean
wins.
and Marlon.
Wayne's.
The Wayans.
Wayne.
You
The
said
Wayans.
You said wins.
The Wayans brothers.
They
the
getting on
Wayans
that
brothers.
noise. Yeah, that's that noise.
The Wayans brothers.
Sound like
Hey,
you
come
saying
on,
Wayne.
brother. Hey, go ahead and pull it up.
They
Pull
too
it up.
busy listening over there. They not doing what we need them to do.
What is it?
Post the
Come
picture,
on,
please,
man.
IT.
I get tired of you, broads.
Dang.
Oh,
Oh,
white chicks.
damn! I didn't know that.
Shame. Oh my bad. Okay. I'm sorry.
So in the movie, these two black males were posing as white girls, when they were actually black under the costume.
Right.
So you got Lil Kim and Serena Williams,
Right.
with they cremated faces. The reason why I'm saying cremated, because can we get numbers 12?
Bring it out.
So I can get a sense on that. So they cremated themselves, showing up their actual identity. You know what they really look like up under whatever the hell they done did to their skin. How
Right.
God made them. They are black sisters, but they posing as white chicks. They trying to turn themselves into white chicks.
I didn't. I never seen this picture before. I just
It
said what I
showed
said.
her doing that. Her face like that made her look like a guy.
Right, a
Made her
transsexual.
look like a real guy. All right, let's get that. What I say?
Numbers chapter 12.
Numbers 12. Give me the half did. The half. Read the verse when it say, you know what I want.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. The book of Numbers chapter 12, verse 10.
So this is a black woman speaking against a black leader, and the Lord judged her. Read.
And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle. And behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow.
So notice it said Miriam became leprous. She became white as a judgment, a punishment from God. Showing you that the people of the Bible that the Lord was dealing with, Moses and them, they were black.
That's right.
This is his sister, his older sister, right? For her speaking or murmuring against Moses, the Lord turned her white, leprous as snow.
Stay in your lane.
Now let's see what they brothers said on her part
Bring it out.
to get her restored to her melanin. Jump down to that, the consume.
Yes, sir. Verse 12.
Uh-huh.
Let her not be as one dead.
Let her not be as what?
Let her not be as one dead.
That's why I keep using the
Right.
term cremated. You know what I'm saying? Because they trying to make their skin creamy,
Right.
but they really look half dead.
Right. Pale
You
face.
see what I'm saying? They killing themselves.
They
They already gone in the mind. They
Right.
mind gone.
The
But they
chemicals.
literally making themselves appear half dead. Read.
Of whom the flesh is half consumed.
Whom the flesh is half
Hey,
consumed.
literally half consumed. Half of her face is white and her legs is black as hell. Stupid.
Her flesh is literally half.
Consumed.
Damn. Hey, get Leviticus 13:30, then we gonna move on. Just to show y'all that they're here too. That is
Bring
hey,
that out.
That is God. Hey,
Just like you was talking
that
about in the
ain't for
show.
his people. That ain't for his chosen. Leviticus 13:30.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 13, verse 30.
Come on.
Then the priest shall see the plague.
The what?
Then the priest shall see the plague.
Plague. The plague. An example of a plague is the coronavirus. You don't want to have that. Right?
Right?
Read.
And behold, if it be in sight deeper than the skin, and there be in it a yellow thin hair.
A what?
A yellow thin hair.
So, some of y'all might be like, it's not yellow, it's blonde.
Right.
Look up the word blonde and tell me what you see.
Stupid.
It's a French word that means what? Yellow.
Yeah.
So what they got on their head is what God said is a plague. It's a yellow thin
Bars.
hair.
It
What the
is. The hell
priest
is
gonna
this?
say when they see that? Read.
Then the priest shall pronounce him unclean.
So that's why Serena, shame.
Shame.
You made yourself unclean.
You
For
played
real, and our
yourself.
sisters think that's cute. Our sisters think that's beauty. That ain't
is not
bird.
beauty.
That's
Boom.
You gotta think about it. Like the Edomites, the so-called white woman or white people, they naturally grow blonde hair. So they are walking unclean people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Both ways. The leprosy they got, their body super red.
And you know what? You know
Yeah.
what sisters do? They'll try to justify by saying, "Oh, it was Aboriginal."
Yeah.
Oh, shut the hell up! You ain't no Aboriginal. You a nigga original. That's what you is.
Damn.
You a what?
Nigga original.
The original nigga.
Facts.
Niggas don't got blonde hair.
Look, the original nigga.
Facts. Bring it out. All right, let's move on now.
Right.
Let's move
Shut
on
the
now.
hell up.
Our sisters, hey, learn how to love yourself, man.
That's right.
Don't make yourself unclean.
Right.
Don't cremate your damn skin. Don't do that. All right?
Hey, can you come back from that?
Oh.
What?
Like
Bleach.
Well, see, you got to
Yeah.
keep doing it. It's like a cream, like the Benjamites.
So she cream.
Hey, I know if you get a bleach stain, it's a wrap.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she got-
So they
she
sold
got-
that out.
So she cremated then, huh?
Dang.
Because it's a cream.
Right. Yeah,
Okay,
that's
y'all
the
sorry.
entendre. What
Right.
I've been doing the whole time.
Hey, Isaiah don't let me live, man.
He
Go
didn't,
ahead.
he didn't
Oh,
catch it.
praise.
I'm sorry I was doing something.
Oh, come on, y'all. Let's
Can we
bring up
get the next
yeah.
line? Y'all
Come
ain't
on
hear
now,
me?
dog. They over there looking
They
over the damn
listening.
thing.
They
Watch
They
listen.
watching the show.
They're entertained.
So now on a more serious note, now we didn't cover this before on our show. It's black folks still out here getting hung.
Right.
It's not a y'all really think this a post racist country? If y'all think that slavery is behind, y'all think that racism is behind us, you a joke. What
Right.
the hell is wrong with you? So read that, officer. Read that.
Vigil to be held for 16-year-old girl whose body was found hanging on a tree.
Was found hanging on a tree.
Wow.
Now look, now as much as we get on our sisters and all of that, we love our black women and children.
For sure.
That's
Black women and black girls. And real men, like the Bible say, we take watch over them. We take a serious watch over them.
Right.
Because it's our job to protect them. You know what I'm saying? And to see stuff like this happening to this day, you know what I'm saying? That says a lot about our communities as far as, like where's the black man at when stuff like this happen? You know what I'm saying? Why is this, still going on? Why is these unsolved mysteries and things of that nature? It's 2021.
Exactly.
And we still got little black girls. And this is a 16-year-old girl, you know what I'm saying, hanging. That shouldn't be. That shouldn't be.
What's heavy is we just got off a topic of somebody envying their oppressor, and then this is still happening. And it's so confusing. It's so much confusion in this world, on this side of the earth, that we look over this. We envying our oppressors today, and this is going on everywhere. It's not just, it's places that we ain't seen it's still happening.
Right.
They still killing us. They still benefiting off of the slavery that they had us on and the slavery they got us on now. But we still want to envy our oppressors. Hey, bring it back up, brother. Is that it on it? Scroll
Read the little,
a vigil for
the
Michaela
caption
Miller.
on the side.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Scroll down a little bit. Take a.
Go
Y'all
down.
don't know what I'm
Shit,
saying. There you go. Go ahead.
Media Blackout USA says, according to NBC Family, friends and members of Michaela Miller neighborhood will gather at 4:30 p.m. in the Hoppington Town Common in commemoration of her life. The event will be led by Monica Cannon Grant of Social Impact Center Violence in Boston and former Boston City Council Tito Jackson. Miller's family is also expected to take the stage to share a few words as well as any updates on the findings. Per school superintendent Carol Kavanaugh, schools were dismissed early and after-school activities were canceled due to the increased police presence in the, I can't really tell what that is. Scroll it, you can't scroll it up, okay, in the something. Oh, yeah, you can. In the buildings and in preparation of the large crowd of the people that may form at the vigil.
Right. Get Isaiah 59 real quick. Isaiah 59. So what we see is Isaiah 59 and 16. What we see, like I said, this show the state of our communities, the fact that it's still happening. It's nobody really for us to be that vulnerable, to have teenage girls and they're getting hung and there's no clues.
Right.
It's, it ain't even really no case. They ain't named no suspects. They don't know no
they
details.
moving slow about it.
Yeah, she just popped up hung. That don't really make no sense.
I'm tired of this, man.
Isaiah chapter 59, verse 16. And he saw that there was no man and wondered that there was no intercessor.
Start at 15.
Verse 15. Yea, truth faileth, and he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey. And the Lord saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment.
So this is the state of our communities. Truth is failing. Even with all this stuff going on with our people, they still refuse to accept our message.
Right.
To change, come back to who you are. Women, start dressing modestly. Be keepers at home. Men, step up. Be a hedge, stop abandoning these women that you made babies with, so on and so forth, right? truth faileth, and he that departed from evil decide to change, make themselves a prey. So it said the Lord saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment. Nobody is, nobody is stepping in like, we really got to do something to change this.
Right.
It's just, we're sad, and why is it still happening, or whatever, right?
Exactly.
Read on.
And he saw that there was no man.
That there was what?
No man.
Read.
And wondered that there was no intercessor.
So the Lord saw that. He was like, damn, it ain't nobody.
Nobody?
That's really going to step up to make a change in our community. At what point we going to be able to police our own communities? Right. At what point we going to be able to, prevent the monster Esau, you know what I'm saying, from being able to commit such hate crimes as this?
Message.
Where's the men at? Read on.
Therefore, his arm brought salvation unto him, and his righteousness, it sustained him.
That's why, you know what I'm saying, we are patiently awaiting our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, the Black Messiah.
That's right.
Because he the only one that's going to really give us justice for all this evil that they've been doing to us and our sons and our daughters for centuries. Can't no man make... Nat Turner couldn't do it. He slaughtered a few of them, but he couldn't get that recompense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Before they put him to death. Anytime a black man step up, they castrate him or they put him to death.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So the Lord, he going to bring salvation. When Jesus Christ, the Black Messiah, cracked the sky, that's when you going to see somebody defending the black man, the black woman, the black son, the black daughter. We going to be delivered. You know what I'm saying? For real. And that's why we patiently waiting on our Savior. That's why y'all got to wake up.
Exactly.
The faster we wake up, the faster we'll see our Messiah come and save us and deliver us from the hand of them that hate us. All right, so look, we finna go to break. When we come back, we going to deal with this heavy, heavy topic that we got for y'all.
Stay tuned.
It's today's black culture.
Right.
A white agenda.
Bring it on. It is.
Stay tuned to see.
Don't go nowhere. This is Let's
Talk Truth.
Look at these charts.
Damn it! Drop another album.
Look at the charts, man.
Yes.
Original royalty is still at the top of the charts. Ah! What are we gonna do? We tried Kid Cudi in the dress. Yeah. We tried Lil Nas X. Nothing is working. The Benjavites dropped the 5th album. Why? 149 and 1 Lily won't stop with the damn hits. There's nothing we can do. I know what we can do. Let's call our best friend.
Right foot. Yeah. We at the bottom, but really ain't no one on top of us. I see the ain't coming, and I did not need no binoculars. If this was a game, then we bout to win the whole tournament. This place going down, and I'm going up like the firmament. You gotta pay the whole penalty for what you did to my people. They told us to shoot for the stars, but first let me shoot at the eagle. This is a movie part 1, and I cannot wait for the sequel. No wonder you run from the sun, cause you are the shadiest people. Enough of this talk about you, now let's get back to reality. We march when the cops kill our people, but we don't march when we go kill our own family. I call that insanity, sanity, 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 sanity. They took all our nickels and dimes, when it comes to sense we don't have any. He's not financial calamity. I got the most dangerous book on this earth, so I dare one of y'all to come challenge me. I'm reading it over and over till my people break out the cycle. You said I got love everybody, but that script is not in the Bible.
Not in the books.
Yeah, bringing sanity like Sean T. Crossroads for those who cross me. Esau feeling all heat in his rightful place with a dog leash. That's a rod of iron, don't you dare flee. It's a wild game and you dead meat. We control the fight like a new Hadouken. Watch it get downright left beat. His high horses getting murked. Full of pride since birth. Cast Lucifer from his heaven. Bet he get real down to earth. If you want kings, the South has it. We activated, not acting. Wait until that day the sky cracking. Make them feel that heat like house plastic. It's Santa Day, it's Santa Day. This a mental war and they challenge. The scales of judgment been unbalanced. The prophecies is unraveling. We get crucified in the media. If you're in your feelings, get past them. We the real men that was set the lead. Get that woman out you like Adam. Spazzing out, going insane. Free slave and I'm unchained. We've lost the kingdom, time to regain. In a wire press full of beat stains. World war a few weeks away. Carpe diem, we seize the day. I deserve it all, is all they need to say. Said he asked the pieces, that's a peaceful day. Said he asked the pieces, that's a peaceful day.
Pray to the God who made me. Y'all got ways you crazy. Y'all got ways you crazy. I've been thinking about it, I get in. JJ got a problem, forget in. He went out, let reality set in. That the enemy out here to get him. Your head on the wall cause it's mounted beheaded, or facing the other direction cause we walking dead in the dead ends. The chariot drop him like get in cause we tryna dodge Armageddon. One body move, one mind, 1, 2, double time like 11. I move things with my mind like 11. I watch you start face as a red end. Definition of Zion is weapon. The truth like a virus is spreading. Say you out of your mind if you catch it. Then I'ma be dying to get it. We doing this over and over again every time it fall through. All cause of sin and it's harm and it's ball of confusion. I ain't convinced we caught up, arm in the rim. Break down the word, my job etymology. I live in different dimension and it's called reality where we don't make no apologies. And eternal life be the silence.
God damn it! Did you see the charts? Did you see the charts, man? I'm ready. I'm very ready. Unbelievable! Damn, damn, damn! This is a damn nightmare! That is pertinent.
Give me a lights, camera, action on it. Roll it.
Action. Damn it! Another album! What? What? You got to be kidding me!
Shalom. We back with
Let's Talk Truth.
So like we said earlier, right? We got a heavy topic today.
Yes, sir.
All right,
yes,
it's
sir.
today's black culture, a white agenda.
It is.
What's up?
That video, that's black culture right there.
That's right.
That's
Hey, man,
right.
we making movies, y'all. Check this out.
wonder why?
Okay. All right, go ahead, House.
Okay, all praise to the Most High. So we gonna get into it just to give y'all, to bring y'all up to speed with what we about to get into, right? We gonna deal with the music industry,
Right.
because the two biggest industries that have an influence on our people, especially our men, because we gonna deal with them first, is the music industry and the sports industry.
That's
You know what I'm
right.
saying? So we gonna deal with that. We just want to show y'all who is behind the scenes, who created what we know is hip hop culture today. In reality, in actuality, who actually manufacture what we know as the hip hop culture, the and all of that. Who really behind it? Who really was behind?
Right.
Who really engineered
Who
this?
raised them?
Yeah. So we finna get into that and the whole scheme behind it. Basically, everything that we do is to cause us to be consumers, the people that's not the actual entertainers, is to cause us to be consumers and to make the white man rich. So basically, he has extended his plantation from the fields and stuff. Because remember that you had the Industrial Revolution. You had machines and stuff made to be able to do what we was out there doing on the field for free. So that became less profitable. So they had to, take counsel on ways to keep this people enslaved and keep making our pockets fat. You see what I'm saying? While they remain at the bottom, while they remain below us. So we think slavery's ended, and we're not in the fields and stuff no more. But that's all this is. Your reality is one big ass plantation.
Right.
We gonna break it down for you to understand.
That's right.
But play that first video.
With private prison owners. And that the biggest music companies are in cahoots with private prison owners. And that the rap music we listen to is not only meant to entertain, but to verbally and visually support criminal behaviors that funnel disenfranchised people into these private prisons. Lastly, what if I told you I have proof? In 2012, Core Civic, formerly known as Corrections Corporation of America, the biggest name in the private prison industry, contacted 48 states offering to buy their prisons. One requirement of eligibility for the deal was particularly strange: an assurance by the agency partner that the agency has sufficient inmate population to maintain a minimum 90% occupancy rate over the term of the contract. Wait, what? What kind of legal and ethical measures could be taken to ensure the maintenance of a 90% prison occupancy rate? Now let's work together to connect these things, because I'm sure you're a smart person. It won't be long. Let's do the work. In 2012, a mere 232 media executives were responsible for the intake of 277 million Americans, controlling all avenues necessary to manufacture any celebrity and spark any trend. Time Warner, as the owner of Warner Brothers Records, can not only sign an artist, but since they're also owners of Entertainment Weekly, they can also put an artist on the cover by next week. You think you choose what you listen to, but do you? Both BET and MTV belong to Viacom. Okay, now I know that's not news to some, but when the use of these media conglomerates is cross-checked with ownership of the biggest names in prison privatization, it's starting to get a little fishy. The largest holder in Core Civic, formerly Corrections Corp of America, is Vanguard Group Incorporated. Vanguard is the #1 largest holder in both Viacom and Time Warner. Vanguard is also the largest holder in the GEO Group, the second largest owner of private prisons in the US. The overlap in private prison / mass media ownership is disturbing. Let's make this clear. The people who own the media are the same people who own private prisons. The exact same people. They make money from getting so-and-so from the hood to glorify the life they live. And they don't care about the impact it has on others because money is the motive. Then when the music influences others in criminal behavior, they make money from all the impressionable low-income people of color that are expected to go inside their private prisons. You can research these companies yourself, by the way. It's not hidden. Now, if you want to take action and stop motivated racist schemes like this from happening, we need to create a platform where the real culture of hip-hop can flourish. Hip Hop for Change has employed hundreds of people with...
Alrighty then. So in case y'all fell asleep, let me help y'all out. So somebody tell me, if you done had somebody that had been locked up before, one of y'all tell me what their wage is like in prison.
Pennies.
I think it was like 2 pennies, 3 pennies or something like that.
It's
cents
a
for sure.
day.
For sure, right.
Right. Like 10 cents a day max,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically slavery.
Right.
And you got to understand what they producing in these jails. You know what I'm saying? They actually doing real deal labor, dealing with machinery, producing stuff like license plates.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Real deal stuff, that's important to society. And basically that is getting produced for free by the same people, blacks and Hispanics primarily. We know who predominantly populate the prisons. It's getting produced by the same people that was on them rice plantations,
Right.
tobacco plantations,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, cornfields, etc., etc. It's the same people. So how do they make sure that these same people end up doing the same thing just to where you can't see them? How do they ensure this? So they cut a Negro a big check, and we gonna get into that too about the check, because you would think that they making the Negroes rich, right? No, that's not happening. That's not what's going on either. But it seems as if they making these Negroes rich. They give them a big check that they demand back. They give them a big check to sit up there and get on a screen and, you know, have drug usage, gun usage in an impoverished background or environment or whatever.
Right.
So what does that do? It influences or provokes, you know, the young people that they've pumped drugs and guns into their communities, like in Baltimore, Jersey, you know what I'm saying, New Orleans, Chicago, et cetera, right?
Yes, sir.
They provoke them and encourage them to, okay, he's famous, he's successful, he got money, he got the hoes. Well, I'm going to grab guns and get high and get dope and all that just like him.
Right.
And where them young black boys end up? On the plantation. The legal plantation according to the 13th Amendment, right?
Right.
The legal plantation, which is prison. That's why the industry, the heads and the record companies is in cahoots with the private prisons.
Right.
It's all a game to keep you enslaved. Yes, believe it or not.
So they make money off of you.
Look.
And then when the people follow after them people, they making more money off of them people.
Right.
Exactly.
It's chess.
Hey,
it ain't
that's-
checkers, it's chess.
Right.
For real. Get Psalms 83. Psalms 83 and 3 before we move on. We gotta set the precedent, right? This is what we see happening.
You know it's real slavery, man. It's like that's hard labor what they're doing. Like one of my, somebody I know, he had to go work it's in Arkansas on a dang hog field, breeding pigs, killing and slaughtering pigs that millions of people consume
For 5 cents.
for nothing.
5 cents a day. Read that.
The book of Psalms, chapter 83 and verse 3.
Come on.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people
Read.
and consulted against thy hidden ones.
So the crafty counsel, meaning a scheme, a plot, something devious, something, you know, some trickery, not something just plain, you know,
Right.
slavery. No, crafty counsel. Let's come up with ideas. Let's really think on how to keep these people destroyed. You know, we don't need them on the fields no more. What else can we do to make sure they enslaved? So they took crafty counsel, and it says consulted against thy hidden ones, right? So who do they hide? Who are the people that they literally hide from society to where you really don't know what the hell they doing?
Right.
The imprisoned ones. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
They consulted against our imprisoned ones. So you see the plot literally, you know, you got some people trying to expose it. But that's exactly what's going on. That is a scheme and a plot to keep us enslaved post-industrial revolution, right? That's exactly what's going on. That's what you see. Now, play the next video. We got some more dots to connect. Play the next one.
I'm sure you're smart.
Play the next one.
You know about the discrimination, but right here on the front of the bus is the racism. Because racism exists in the unchecked and the unchallenged normal. My question is, 60 years later, what in the world is a Pepsi ad doing on the front of a bus company that makes black people sit in the back? What in the world is it doing there? I mean, did the Pepsi CEO look back on that today and go, yeah, you know, yeah, that was a fail, shouldn't have done that? Are they ashamed? Are they ashamed that they would, well, let me ask you this, could they do it today? If I started a bus company in Jacksonville and say, I got this great thing, beautiful buses, I want Pepsi's name on it. They said, let's do the deal. I said, but the deal is gays, blacks, and Jews sit at the back. They couldn't put their name on that. Why? Because as American attitudes change, as American definitions change, as American norms change, guess who else has to change? The marketplace. There's certain things they could get away with when that type of thing was normal that they can't get away with now. The same thing not only goes with policy, it goes with entertainment. My favorite cartoon, one of them all time, is Tom and Jerry. This is Mammy Two Shoes. Mammy Two Shoes, you never saw her except for a couple of times above the knees. She was always the one yelling at Thomas the cat for what he was doing. She was voiced by Lillian Randolph, a great radio actress. But here's the interesting thing. White entertainers create white entertainment, and they carve out a black role, and the black role that they saw fit was to play this stereotypical black woman. That lasted up until in the early 50s. Then Huge protest broke out, and they said, you know what? We don't want to be portrayed like that anymore. And to this day, if you want to watch Tom and Jerry, you go home, you want to watch it on Netflix, you want to watch it on Amazon, this comes up on the screen. It says, what you're about to watch contains some racial stereotypes. They were wrong then, and they're wrong now. They were commonplace. We don't want to edit her out because that will make it like it never happened. We're going to put her in, but know that we know there's something wrong with this. Now, we don't have Mammy Two Shoes today. You can't get away with it. Nobody would put it out there. But we do have black people that get on the radio every day in white-owned companies, white-owned stations with white-owned sponsors that play the role of hyper-sexualized, hyper-criminalized male. I asked these advertisers, I say, I've got hundreds of songs a day that celebrate killing animals. Will you put them on your station? They said, no. I got hundreds of songs a day that talk about assaulting women and abusing kids. Would you put them on your station? They said, no. I said, I got hundreds of songs a day that talk about murdering blacks. Would you put them on your stations? They said, well, that depends. Depends on what? Who it's done by and who it's branded for. Because if we can get black folks to sing about it and we can brand it for our youngest black audiences, I think there's money to be made. I think there's American appetites to see these people that way. I said, how can you say that? They said, well, look, it's what these artists know. It's what they, black people, create. It's, matter of fact, our surveys say it's what they want to hear, which speaks of a sickness. How do we live in a society where somebody says, you know what, I'm inspired to write a song that celebrates murdering another person. And then a person says, I'd like to put that on my station. Another person said, I'd like to pay for it. And then there's people out here in the audience that go, I'd love to hear it, as long as it's black guys. Because even white people buy rap music, buy this type of stuff, because we know that when we want to hear about killing each other, we know who to turn to for that type of inspiration. We call it our music. We say we own it. White people buy more rap than black people. Yeah, but we're very careful to turn it down at the stoplight when other black people are there. Why? Because we know we're just pretending. For them, it's more authentic.
Yeah.
I always ask the companies, what about your name? What about your brand? What about your value? And the largest radio company in the world said this, it's okay that we only have drug dealers.
Hey, that's how you know they be pretending. Because oftentimes, which you see like the so-called white man or whatever, like they be bumping the oldest songs of black. Like, why the hell you listen? Oh, just before he died, you know. There's a rough rider. Well, nobody bumping it. You going all the way back to T-Pain.
It's a marketing strategy. It's strategy. Right?
Hey, real quick, it's Psalms 137 and 3. So we finna connect some dots, right? So now we went over how the industry, the labels is in cahoots with the private prisons.
Right.
So they sign artists to push a lifestyle, you know, a criminal lifestyle, right? They influence. They on TV, on the radio, and all that talking about crimes. I'll rob you, I'll shoot you, I'm smoking dope, and I'm selling dope. All of this is illegal, but it's legal to put it on TV and on the radio waves for people to listen to and feel like, I want to do that because my favorite person is doing it, right?
Come on now,
So
dog.
now that, okay, partially it sends black people two different ways. We saw the scheme with the prison, right? Okay, we got them in jail, we got them as slaves, you know, destroying the family structure and all that, right? But on the other end, you got actual murder. So we hate y'all. We want to have y'all in slavery, and we want to kill y'all too.
Right.
And we want to be entertained at the same time. So all of this is in one pool that we look at today as black culture.
Right.
When it's slavery, murder, and coonery to please the white man. All of that is black culture.
Come on, man.
Read what you got.
The book of Psalms, chapter 137, verse 3.
Come on.
For there they that carried us away captive.
Read that again.
For there they that carried us away captive.
The same people that put us in slavery, in whips and chains. Read on.
Required of us a song.
They put you on a record label. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it, bro. Think about it. So they saying, okay, because we going to get into it with the sisters too, with Sarah Bartman, I think her name, right? Yeah. So, okay, we want to get the free labor off of you, right? And all of that, but we also, we recognize your talent.
Right.
We understand that you have voices that sound a lot better than ours.
Right.
We understand that you have musical ability beyond our musical capability.
That's right.
So we want, while we have you captive, we want you to make us laugh, to
Entertain.
make us joyful. That's what
Right.
they did to our brother Samson.
Come on,
The
man.
Philistines, you know, he big, strong, and mighty or whatever,
Exactly.
but what? He's in what? Chains.
Right.
We have him constrained,
Right.
but we're going to make sure that he puts on a show for us while he's constrained. That's what our oppressors did. That's what it's all about.
Right.
For real, read on.
And they that wasted us required of us mirth.
Required of us mirth. So that's going into, okay, beyond just the music side, but the sports as well.
Comedy.
Because who at the end of the day, because black people love sports, but how many of us ever had season passes growing up? Who done been to every Razorback game?
What that look
I
like?
ain't never been to an NBA game, an NFL game, and none of that.
What do that look like?
Who be the main people in the audience?
The slave masters.
The so-called white man.
white man.
Who the main people on the court? Who the main people on the field, though?
Wow.
Big
Us!
Right.
Because they required of us mirth. Same
They
thing, they
do.
did it wrong.
Right.
It's the
The
same
same
thing.
cycle. It's the
Hey,
same cycle.
Yeah.
what's the majority of comedians?
Right.
Negroes.
You already
Exactly.
know.
Right.
The funniest.
Right.
The
For
funniest
real.
as well.
So you got to smile to keep from crying, right? That's why we so damn funny.
Man.
Right.
Let's get the
That's
next
sad.
video now. Let's get the next video.
Hey, let me get something.
Go ahead, go
Hey,
ahead.
go to Judah 5 because the dude said something in the video, like he went down from, can I put animals dying or something, and then he went on down with it, and then he said, what about blacks killing blacks? And they was like, well, it's a possibility. It depends.
Depends.
He
Who's killing
basically, within his speech, he basically said this same thing. Read verse 20.
The book of Judith, chapter 5, verse 20.
Uh-huh.
Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error in this people.
Right, if I can get them on TV to say I kill, I smoke, I do all these drugs, I whore out women, if they can get people to say that on TV and you believe it and you do it, read.
And they sin against their God.
And then we start sinning against our God. Come on.
Let us consider that this shall be their ruin.
This shall be their ruin. They would never raise up out of the conditions we put them in, like the sports, all of this. They would never think to raise up above that because they think they're good. I deceived them. I put them in that. We sinning against God doing these things. Come on.
And let us go up, and we shall overcome them.
And that's how they overcame us now. That's why they over us. Because they pushed the agenda to make it think like what we talking about, that this is our black culture. This is what we do. We the best at this and that. But really, they put the facade on. You don't see that they running everything on the background. And you in sin, and God hate that.
The only way they was able to do this, like the only way I got to this point is because all of the previous years of slavery. People don't understand the effects. Just imagine them dumping us straight off the ship and telling us, hey, rap songs about tell your woman to bust that ass open. And you know what I'm saying? To rap about killing your brother, they would have been like, what the hell you mean? Right. You know what I'm saying? It took years of them subjugating us and beating us and destroying us and turning us against each other and all of that for us to get to this point where we voluntarily,
right?
You know what I'm saying? When we get in the booth, that's what we gonna talk about,
right?
You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you.
Now, dog.
Hey, Alfred, you saying something so heavy because how long did it take us to get into their industry? They slowly put us in there. So it took years for them to make it happen. They said, well, let's insert the first funny comedian. He starts the movement of people being, blacks being on TV.
Right.
And then, they rapping in the corner over there in New York. Well, let's bring them. Let's get them. Run DFC. Let's get all these guys. Okay. Well, we can make you money. You talk about this, you do this and that. But then it started transiting slowly. Now they running this thing smoothly.
Because remember, at first hip hop was cultural in a sense of consciousness.
Consciousness, right.
You know, stuff like that. But like the background to the video, the first video we showed with the brother talking about the private prison industry or whatever.
Yes, sir.
It was one big meeting. And we covered it before, but it would really take a whole show to really dive into.
Right.
But basically, it was a label exec or whatever, something like that, that came out. He didn't fully come out and say his name because they'll put him to death or something. but he talked about the meeting, and basically it was the breaking point between, you had the Public Enemies, the KRS Ones and stuff
Right.
like that, but you also had like the NWAs and stuff. So they had this meeting with these prison people, and it was like, we're gonna take this rap thing and we're gonna push it to the next level. But not the regular rap thing, the gangster rap thing.
Right.
Because this is going to basically make these stocks that we have in these private prisons, we finna get this bread. We finna get this bread. These niggas talking about shooting and cripping and Sue and all that bit. That we gonna get niggas in jail. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna make some real bread off of this right here. So now look, play this video before we go to break. I wanna show y'all that I think this just play it so I can make sure that, okay, so now I know which one it is. So look,
Clifford.
basically I'm finna show y'all that when you sign to a label, these labels owned by white men, you're not rich. You don't have nothing. I'm gonna break it down. But play the video.
On the front end, or you can get it on the back end.
Very from the top. From the top.
You got two options. You can get your money on the front end, or you can get it on the back end. Very rare do you see people do both.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If you get artists who want to sign right now for $150,000, $200,000, man, usually, man, you're gonna get all your publishing and all your royalties taken away from you, so you don't get no more money after that. So if that's what you want to do, you should go to a major. But if you really want to like invest and have the most ownership and the most equity as you can in your art, I think then you stay independent.
T.I.P. Clifford Harris. I know a lot of these niggas. This shows you how much I study the game. I know a lot of these niggas' real names. Like, you know what? I want y'all to do this. I want y'all to take a major rapper over the past 20 years, and I want you to write their name in the comments. There's probably a 90% chance I'm gonna know what their real name is. Now, not none of these like little Xan ass niggas. I don't know them. I'm talking about rappers I grew up on. I'm talking about rappers that's been popping, not motherfuckers that have one song. I don't know their name, but nigga, I've been studying this shit. Clifford Harris. My ducks, my swans, welcome to the pod. My name is Dorian from Group82Music.com, and right here we got Clifford Harris, T.I. talking about money up front versus money on the back end. Everybody says they want to sign to a major label. The reason that y'all want to sign to a major label is because they give you money up front. You're still in the consumer mentality. You're still in the mentality that you have to exchange your time or your goods for money. So you're making all this music at home for free, and you look at it as if somebody really likes your song, they're going to give you $150,000, $200,000 for all of your music, for your catalog, which really ain't worth much right now. That's a lot of money, $200,000. You've never seen that before. Yeah. But when they give you that $200,000, all the royalties that you would get from Spotify, that a lot of y'all get right now, that I get right now, you ain't getting them no more. All those royalties you get from Apple Music, you ain't getting that no more. The publishing in perpetuity, which means forever, that you get from BMI ASCAP, you're not going to get that no more neither. They're going to take all that shit. Now, they might be able to negotiate something where you might get 50% or something like that, but there's costs that you have to recoup. Any hotels, any travel, any food, any cars, any tour support, any meetings, any fucking cocaine binges that they can write off and hide as some miscellaneous expense on an expense sheet. Like, you're going to have to pay for that. The likelihood that you will ever see a check from your publishing or your royalties on that 50% split is extremely rare. They're going to find a way to finesse you out of it. And that's what happens when you sign to a major label. Now, major label's going to put you on the radio. Major label's going to get your music placed on ESPN and during the NBA Finals. Major label's going to get you on TikTok with all these influencers. Major label's going to get you in the Wall Street Journal and Rolling Stone and XXL and Source. It's going to get you on all the meme pages. It's going to do all that. But mind you, you only got $150,000 to do that. $150,000 is cool one day, but is $150,000 cool after 800 days? It's over 2 years. No, it's not cool anymore. You need to make more money, but they don't give a fuck about that. And on top of that, they control when your music comes out. That's what happens when you sign to a major label. Now, when you're an independent artist, no one's paying you any money up front. The only way you get paid is when you sell albums. The only time I'm getting paid off of True Support is when y'all click the link in the bio and y'all pre-order. And I'll put you on our playlist for free. That's the only time I'm gonna get paid off of that. or when I get my royalties from Spotify, from Apple Music, from Tidal, or when I get my publishing. I have to find ways to generate attention for me and my music so y'all can go listen to it, so y'all can go buy it, so I can get these consistent checks, so I can get these consistent royalty checks. If I'm gonna get my music placed in ESPN or TNT or TBS, I gotta go through a sync library or a sync agent, or I gotta find a music supervisor. It's a lot of political red tape that would be a lot easier for me if I was signed to a record label. When I go on tour support, record label, they got that machine ready. I gotta set up everything on my own. I got to set up my website on my own. I had to design this logo through my graphic design team. I had to find a graphic design team to begin with. I have to do absolutely everything, but I own everything. It's a lot more work up front, but publishing is in perpetuity. That means forever, forever. My daughter is going to eat off of Don't Sleep, forever. So there's no reason for me to sign it away for $150,000 in this realm of digital streaming. And this just doesn't go for musicians. This goes for anybody that owns any sort of digital content. We have not been allowed to make royalties off our Instagram and Facebook and YouTube content like that yet. We only get paid for advertising. Eventually, we're going to get royalties. Eventually, we're going to get publishing off of this. So why would you sign away any of that stuff? The world is exploding right now with content. Everybody needs music. Everybody needs content. Don't sign any of that away unless you want that $150,000 check and you want all that support and you want to hang around with T.I. and 2 Chainz and Drake and Kendrick and Cole, and that makes you feel good, then fuck it. Go do that. Go sign. Go be their bitch. Go be their slave.
Go be their what?
I don't care what they tell you. Financial.
Go be their what?
Slave.
Play that again. That's the point.
Right.
Do that. Go sign. Go be their bitch. Go be their slave. That's how they gonna treat you. I don't care what they tell you.
That's
So
how
look,
they gonna treat you. Stupid.
he gave a breakdown, right? But I'm gonna help y'all out. I'm gonna help y'all out. So check this out. Now think about it. Think about the people that you see blow up out of nowhere, like the Kodak Blacks, the NBA Young Boys, the little babies, stuff like that. You see they video, like they first videos and stuff. They in a very poor neighborhood, right? They have nothing. So you gotta think. Remember, he said to stay independent and own all of your stuff. Own your masters. Think of the word masters.
Right.
In order to own your masters and all of that stuff, right? You have to grind. You have to push yourself to get your own audience. You had to go through all these loops and hoops to get on the TV, to get on the radio, to do all this and do that. Meanwhile, you got the label. They gonna just throw you out of nowhere. You just gonna MTV Jams. Damn. You know what I'm saying? BET out of nowhere, right? So they give you what you think is a big check because you ain't never had nothing. Right. And you covetous. You've been growing up all your life. You've been seeing people on camera with the rides and the cribs and all of that. And they didn't been sold the same dream. So he breaking down how people sell their soul.
Exactly.
So now you sign this big contract because you from the hood, you ain't never had nothing. They give you, he was saying 150, let's say $1 million, right? Right. They give you $1 million and they say, hey, this what you in a 5-album contract, here go $1 million. Now, you know what I'm saying? You gonna be able to go to the studio, you're gonna be able to travel and go on tour and all of that stuff like that. And you balling now, you buying this and that, you want to stunt. So that $1 million gone, saying about a year, right? So you go to the label, you done might have dropped one album or something like that, and you see the album doing numbers. The album going stupid. You got millions of streams and all of that. So you go to the label like, hey, where my money? It say I didn't, I got 10 million streams on Spotify. I got 50 million views on YouTube. Where my money at? I'm hurting. And they like, nigga, we already paid you.
Right. You spent that.
We gave you your cut. Come on, everything else belong. What about when you went on tour? Who paid for that tour bus? Right. Who paid for them hotels? Right. You see what I'm saying? All them videos. You know how much it costed to get all them film people in? You want to see the receipts? Right. And then all of a sudden you lost and you confused. Meanwhile, on your Instagram page, people looking at it like, he got it. He rich. You got all these family members with their hand out like, help me. The people in the hood like, man, dude, don't do nothing for his hood. So they don't understand. You broke, nigga. You broke as hell.
still clocked in.
Exactly, and you still locked into that contract. They got your soul.
Damn.
You would have to buy yourself out of that contract, and you ain't got no damn money.
Hey, what's up? Hey, I'm gonna say
That's slavery.
Hey, you right. Or some of them, what they do is they'll redo it. Okay, I ran out, so what shit? Like you give me another million,
Exactly. They
I'm gonna
got
go right back
that
into it
contract, and they be
Another
stuck
again.
They be stuck.
'Cause they need that money.
They got your soul.
They got to keep they.
Mic working? My mic working?
Did you
It's
turn it on?
working. It's a little low. Want this one?
Yeah, I've heard that like
Popping
different.
popcorn. Who's popping popcorn right now?
Him.
Yeah. Basically, like what he was saying, you have like different tycoons, like what's his name, Jay Prince, and they have like discussions like, hey, this brother owed me 3 albums. Like I heard that with 50 Cent, he owed albums to certain companies because you in debt to them because you signed that upfront contract.
Right.
So that stuff is real. Brothers really be in bonds like that. For real.
Right. Exactly. So we're gonna go to break. We just wanted to show y'all that this is slavery, bro.
It's
This
slavery.
This is all an agenda of the white man. You really think that he just gonna make a Negro from the hood, what they call it, a public enemy, a threat to, a menace to society.
A menace to society,
You think
right?
he just gonna make a menace to society rich?
is.
Because he got, one little song, some catchy. You think he really just gonna do that?
Right. What happened to the little Chris? What happened to him?
Who is he?
And his name?
Who?
Hurricane Chris. What happened to him?
Oh,
Hey, no, he
was
just
a
got
one-hit
murdered
wonder.
not too long ago.
Hey, bye. That's what they do. It's the same trap. He already said, I kill people, so they okay. Let them kill people. Shit.
All right, all praise to the Most High. So
Hey, that's how you know he don't listen to rap. You remember earlier when I was talking about how the white folk they be playing.
Hey, don't do that, bro.
Yeah,
Don't
Lil
compare me to them. I ain't
Chris.
Esau, bro. Hey, whoever these little
Come
Chris,
on,
everybody
man.
got a little
Chris.
name these days. Lil Wayne, he's still little.
Lil Wayne.
Is it Wayne now?
Hey, we finna go to break.
No, they got a little pump and stuff. You right off.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Lil Baby.
I just learned about Lil Pump a second ago. I'm with you.
But why? Hey, don't go nowhere. We gonna be back, man. With more.
All right.
Y'all stay
Talk
tuned.
true.
All I can say, I don't agree with nothing you just did. You totally disagreed, or let me say it this way: you went against everything I told you to do. You disregarded me as a spiritual father, spiritual leader, and all I can say right now for you, bro, you're gonna suffer the consequences.
Hey, shalom, baby.
Babe, don't worry, I'm gonna take care of it.
You always say you're gonna take care of it. You say you're gonna take care of everything all the time.
And it's always taken care of. That's why we're still here.
I'm sick of this.
Dream me a dream for a better days. Pray for Jah fi pass my way. Oh please won't you come to save me from my misery. Too long me day in a slavery and I gone astray.
Samurai, man a fierce. Flex pan the devil with his spiritual muscle. Warfare with the demon, them we a tussle. Jah dep on we side, Satan a get defeat. They got grave for with enemies, grab a shovel. Give them all the shirt off of your back, them still a love you. Bite the hand we feed them, turn round and them a cuss you. Never get a chance to do it again, me learn me lesson. Just because me smell up with a boy, no mean me trust you. Dream and I pray for better days. Can't come around way if you're stuck in all your ways. Parasite, them can't elevate. Them not really with it, them just going to our fears. Man a be shot to the feet, put on the armor, the procedure complete. Me nah go back, nah retreat. All traitors, every Jezebel must get delete. Me no sleep on a demon, me keep a full clip. Conspire me downfall, cause them want see me slip. Stay close to the real ones, we seal off and legit. Cause I gotta use them to keep your soul from the pit. This a war life, I saw the damn thing said. Man, I start to the east, me no have no regret. That walk you perilous, you better watch how you step. If you loyal, eternal life you a get.
Dream me a dream for a better days. Pray me a pray for Jah fi pass my way. Oh please won't you come to save me from my misery. Too long me there in a slavery and I gone astray. So me say Jah, me beg you for your mercy. Jah, won't you please come rescue me. Jah, you are the King of Kings. Me say Jah, I've done so dumb in Babylon. Jah, save your people Israel. Jah, stop the pain and suffering. Jah, me tired of this slavery. Jah, won't you hear my cry today? Dream me a dream for a better days. Pray me a pray for Jah fi pass my way. Oh please won't you come to save me from my misery. Too long me there in a slavery and I gone astray.
When you know about hard life, blood, sweat, tears, sacrifice. No money and you can't pay your bills. Living in a poverty no nice. Living in a poverty no nice. In a nice, be within a sardine and rice. Right price, house full of roach and mice. Minimum wage can't suffice.
Dream me a dream for a better days. Pray me a pray for Jah fi pass my way. Oh please won't you come to save me from my misery. Too long me there in a slavery and I gone astray.
You call this taking care of it?
What do you want from me, woman? I'm working 60 hours a week, busting my butt, putting work in the body, and you're just sitting home doing nothing.
I want you to fix it. I want you to be a man. I want you to stand up and be a man and stop moving out here like a boy. I should have never married your bum ass.
What the hell are you calling a bum ass?
You nigga, you think you're righteous? You think you have integrity? You need to stand up and take care of your responsibilities or else I'm gonna handle it.
So, you mean to tell me Most High blessed us with this house, beautiful kids and everything, and you cannot accept the bad from the Most High as well?
Listen, I'm not trying to hear all that, okay? Fix it. Fix it. Or else I'm gonna have to fix it and you're not gonna like it.
Shalom. Hey. Welcome back to
Let's Talk True.
Hey, y'all seen the end of that video? That's what happened when you get that money, and then you get that girl, and then you run out of that money, and you didn't got her comfortable with the luxuries and all that.
You lose, nigga. Good day, sir.
Hey,
On
what
your
life
ass.
didn't say when the damn.
Stop spending.
Right.
In the
Oh, life,
golden women disappear.
Right.
Hey.
Will
Well,
she
that's a
still
shit.
be here?
Right. Will she?
Right.
Must be nice. Must be nice.
Must be nice, because it don't be happy. Alright, so look. So back to the topic, right? What is the topic? Is today's black culture a white agenda?
Right.
So we dealt with the music industry and how it's really all a plot to keep us in jail, murdering each other, all the while entertaining Esau, our oppressor, right?
Right.
So now we gonna deal with the women, the reason why they've been sexualized, and the reason why you got your Megan Thee Stallions, your
Right.
Cardi B's, your WAPs, and all of that. And then we gonna try to deal with the sports before this show is over with. All right. So let's get this first video. So it's gonna go into the history of this sister named Sarah Bartman, I believe her name was. So she was the first Buffy the Body. Some of y'all might be too young, might not even know who that is.
Who is Buffy the
first Buffy the Body. All right, and it shows you why, you know, today in 2021 or whatever, we talking about badonkadonks and big booties and all of that, right? Because it was fed to us, you know, through what? Just Play the video. Play the video.
Play the video. Play the video.
Little Rock, Little Rock.
All praise, yep, yes, sir.
I'm going to speak my truth, and I'm going to speak what I know. I'm going to speak what I research and what I believe to be true. So, since the beginning of the interactions between European men and African people before they were even brought to America as slaves, they were sexualized, hyper-sexualized because they were believed to be subhuman. There comes a lot of science and a lot of literature that reinforces racist beliefs about black people. Black women were put in cages for their body. Let's just kind of like understand that for a minute. We know that Sarah Bartman was a African woman who was put in a circus-like atmosphere because she had a very big butt. So no other reason, she was not animalistic at all other than the fact that she was born with a big butt. It was in her genes. So from there on, the sexualization of black women kind of takes off. So once we become slaves, we are constantly raped by our white owners. You have white men sleeping with their slave women and producing these mixed race babies, and now they need to come up with a reason as to why they have these kids with these black women. So for a lot of white men, a way to explain why they were having kids with black women were to put the blame back on the black woman. So to say they are inherently sexual, we can't help it, we have these butts, we have this high sex drive that's different than white women's, and that's why these things are happening. And it's not anything to do with the white man, it has something to do with the black woman, if that makes sense. So began to perpetuate themselves, and they still perpetuate themselves today. Like in media, they perpetuate themselves in rap music, they perpetuate themselves in movies, television. Is still all around this belief that black women are inherently sexual and hypersexual, and that anything that happens to them as far as sexual violence and domestic violence must first be looked at from their perspective of what they could have done differently and why they were put in the situation. I think that we would recognize these things and put an end to them, but sometimes, and most times, we internalize those beliefs that white people taught us when we were slaves, and then we continue to perpetuate and continue to push those beliefs instead of tearing them down. Sure, if you sat down and thought for even a second about rap music, you could come up real quick with something that was super disrespectful to women. It's not unheard of. We all listen to this music every day and we don't even think about it. But when we're presented with problems that have to do with black women, we use those things subconsciously to determine how we feel about black women. We just go right to those stereotypes and right to those things that we think we know about black women as gold diggers, as clout chasers, as liars, lazy, looking for a rich man, looking for a come up. These are all things that come from slave culture. These are not things that are true. We think that black women are so strong, they should be able to keep themselves out of these situations, and that's not fair. When black women are trying to assert themselves, tell their stories, find jobs even, it's hard to battle those stereotypes that are constantly pushed in the media and in our own culture. I think the civil rights movement and things like Black Lives Matter are all very influential and very important in our society, but they have this weird fixation on just black men. We only focus on black men, and while black women are leading these movements.
She go off at the end a little bit.
Yeah. So just to help y'all, because she might have carried y'all away from the point.
Right.
The point. Get Limitations 5 and 11. So she made a heavy point about they had to push this propaganda and this image of black women in media, that they was so freaky and they had the big woman parts and all of that, and they was so enticing that they couldn't help. They had to tell their white wives why they was having mixed babies with these women, with these slave women, right? So read what you got.
The book of Lamentations, chapter 5, verse 11.
Uh-huh.
They ravished the women in Zion.
They did what?
They ravished the women in Zion.
The word ravished means raped. So I know that's a trigger word, but it is what it is. It's talking about what our oppressors did to us. They raped our women. They did that. Read on.
And the maids in the cities of Judah.
And the maids in the cities of Judah, meaning the so-called black women, they took y'all down through there. They used and abused y'all, right? So now go to 1 Ezra 5:75 and 73. So to justify, their actions on why they was dealing with our women in these ways, they pushed the image on the black woman as her being super seductive and a freak and so on and so forth. And after generations of imposing this, it not only persuaded the black man to look at the black woman the same, but the black woman herself.
Right.
She now embraces that persona that the white man put on her, which was a lie, to justify their actions of rape. Now she embodies that. That's why she talking about her with a P on wax and got millions of views overnight talking about it. It's all from this all stem from slavery and the white man's propaganda against us in slavery. Read what you got.
Right.
First Ezra chapter 5, verse 73.
Come on.
And by their secret plots.
By their what?
Secret plots.
So how are we going to get away with this narrative? With our women, how are we going to get away with this narrative?
Craftily.
So they came up with secret plots. Let's make drawings. Let's put them, let's showcase these big booty women and show them why they're irresistible. You know what I'm saying? Secret plots. After a while, they going to begin to think of themselves this way. After a while, the black men are gonna look at them how we're painting them, and they're gonna lose respect for their own women, and they're gonna start disrespecting their women. For real, this is a plot. When they say the thought of every one of them is deep, they thinking generations down the line.
Right. Facts.
Because you gotta think when you see a woman, you know what I'm saying, a sister with no clothes on, showing off her body parts, and shamelessly, I don't care. I ain't with no marriage and all of that, so on and so forth. Why would I respect that?
Hey,
The scripture says a shameless woman is counted as a dog.
No, this is just what happened yesterday in Aberdeen, Mississippi. Cap was teaching, and he was going over Deuteronomy 22:5. He like, yo, you should wear a dress. And as I was reading, I heard the sister say, I ain't gonna wear a dress. That's easy access. That's the only reason I wear it. So that's why she said it. She's over-sexualized herself.
Hey, that's heavy. So
and the brother walked away. He said the brother didn't want to hear it. He walked the hell off.
What's heavy what you going into, because we talked about the prison pipeline, right?
We did.
Guess what? That's the whole pipeline.
Exactly.
That's what that is. Train them up to be a hoe, because everything that's pushed. What did little kids on cheerleading squads learn how to twerk and dance and do all this?
Right. Yep.
Do all these nasty dancing from TV, from the WAPs and all the other little what are all the little Kims and all of that? They learn from them.
Right.
And that stuff has pushed, and Esau mastered this thing right here. These secret plots, they mastered it.
You gotta think they be trying to censor us because of we come with the Bible.
Right.
Religion, supposedly, or whatever the case. But this is stuff we grew up seeing on TV, like black women with their whole booty on the screen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, basically, sex on this is stuff that is not censored to little kids. Little kids have access to this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But keep reading on that.
And by their secret plots and popular persuasions.
And what?
Popular persuasions.
Popular persuasion. Hey. So this is what all their propaganda and the media has done. It has persuaded. It has persuaded not just the black man, but also everybody in the world.
Right.
That the black woman is a thought. She's an item. She just a bust down. She just when I see her, my first thought is I'm trying to lay down with her. Because that's all she worth. That's what that stem from the drawings and all of that you saw the white man with the naked black woman and all of that,
Right.
to justify their evil of rape. That's all of that stem from that. That's why we look at our women the way that we do, and that's why our women take pride in that. They think that's their identity. They think they been like that. That's why you got the Trinas, the Meg Thee Stallions. I'm a big old freak.
Right.
No, that wasn't your heritage. That wasn't how you got down.
Right.
The real freak, the white man, made you like that.
Right.
He ravished you.
Yeah.
But he persuaded with the power of his media and stuff, he persuaded us and even you to think that about your damn self.
They think that's where they power at.
Yeah.
They think that's where they power at. For
The
real.
power that P.
Right.
So the popular persuasion, really Esau is the trendsetter.
Right.
You know, we say we the trendsetter. We let, you know, we everything that happened, okay, the black man did this. No. Behind scenes, Esau said popular persuasion, meaning I'm going to set it up. I'm going to make you do this to yourself. You think you setting it up, but really I did it.
They probably just like what the dude, the Edomite from that one video. They probably did the same thing with the sisters. They said, can we show the black woman as an upstanding mother and how to, you know, do her house correctly? No. Can we show them as, you know, can we show white women this way? This is no. Well, can we show some overly sexualized and half naked black sisters with big body parts? Can we do that? Well, it depends.
Right.
Is it good enough for them to follow it?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Come on, I tell you how this scripture real though, because when it say that popular persuasion,
right?
Like, you know, Little Rock ain't got nothing. Why I sound like? Do I sound?
Getting a little robot? Yeah, they changed something over there.
Hey, fix me up, man. Check me out. Check. But look, that popular persuasion, like y'all know Little Rock, we ain't got nothing.
Right. We don't.
We ain't got no NBA team.
No.
We ain't got no
Rim Rockers.
NFL team.
I was finna say the Rim
No,
Rockers.
you ain't got no what?
The Rim Rockers. Come on,
But hey,
man.
so now you got these upcoming artists, like rappers, that's like legit, signed with QC and all that. These are major labels. And people in Little Rock, because we ain't got nothing like that, like I was just saying before,
right?
Everybody now coming up, everybody want to be a rapper.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Because they seeing him riding through the city in the purple Lambo truck. You know what I'm saying? Or the blue Hellcat, the Track Hawk, all that kind of stuff. And it's persuading us that he's actually getting real money.
He got that check.
But he just got what Clifford said, T.I. He got his up front.
Message. Right.
They don't know it's gonna come back.
Knowing him, he probably really just got the truck.
Right.
They gave him the truck.
So
and the
now
house.
look, watch this, y'all. I'm gonna show y'all how destroyed the black woman is because of this stuff. Play that video. All women, the one I just sent. All about all women. So instead of our sisters becoming conscious and understanding, you know, basically, we gotta stop this narrative. We gotta prove that we not just items or whatever. This is the mentality that our women have taken on. All right, play that.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Destiny Love, and I'm coming back to you with another joint. Alright, so today I'm going to be talking about why all women are hoes. Yes, I said it. All women are hoes, not just your stereotypical hoe like strippers or escorts or whatever you think a hoe is. Every women are hoes because you were born one. If you're born with a vagina, then you're immediately a hoe.
Damn.
Yes, we live in a patriarchal, misogynistic world and society, but that's okay. I am the confident hoe, and I can teach you how to be a confident hoe. But if you're one of those women who feel like, well, I'm not a hoe.
Can we start real quick, please? Deuteronomy 28:37, man. When the Lord said we was gonna be cursed, this is a real curse right here.
Right.
I remember
I
growing
wasn't
up.
gonna say nothing because I ain't read the context. I don't know what she finna get into, but damn.
28:37, Deuteronomy. This is crazy right here. It was a shame for you. If you called a woman a hoe, you even looked at her wrong, she'll slap you in your face. But now we got confident hoes now.
The book of
Let's
Deuteronomy.
read.
I got you. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 37.
Come on.
And thou shalt become an astonishment.
That's an astonishment. I am the confident hoe. That's an astonishment.
Right.
But the Lord said it's going to happen. That's it. We astonished.
Damn.
That's it.
Look, you astonished right now.
Right.
Hey, play it.
am the confident hoe, and I can teach you how to be a confident hoe. But if you're one of those women who feel like, well, I'm not a hoe, I'm not a slut, like I'm a queen, I'm a goddess, that's fine. But as soon as a man approaches you with the whole queen rhetoric, oh, hey goddess rhetoric, but if you deny him, then you're immediately a hoe. If you wear a mini skirt outside for that day, you're immediately a hoe. If you just want to take a nude pic, you're immediately a hoe. So that goes to say that every woman, besides, like, I don't care about your religious belief, I don't care about what you were taught as a little girl, you're still a hoe. The reason why little girls are always so, suppressed or told to be quiet or sit with your legs closed is because people like to sexualize girls from a young age. You're immediately born, being sexualized because you are female. You have a gold mine in between your thighs, and you have to understand that people only want you for that, specifically men. You see, men do not like us. They only tolerate us for pussy. So, with that being said, if you are a woman who believes, well, I'm not a slut, I'm not a thot, I'm not a hoe, I go to church, I have a husband, trust and believe you are still a hoe, you are still a slut to society off the strength of being a female. It doesn't matter. People are still gonna look at you as a thot, as a hoe. These respectability politics can change in the blink of an eye. So with that being said, don't feel offended if somebody calls you a hoe. Don't feel offended if somebody calls you a slut or a thot. Just be like, okay, I'm a hoe, and so I feel like women should stop caring so much. Stop caring about what motherfuckers think about you. Understand that even if you don't claim to be a hoe or a slut, that's fine. But I'm going to tell you, that's how society looks at you. Women is synonymous with hoe. And it's that simple. The same as black people being synonymous with nigga, or black men being synonymous with a nigga. So, with that being said, be a confident hoe, bitch. Hey, y'all.
Why cars driving by?
Click the link below to get my book, How to Be a Confident Hoe, because slut shaming is over. Learn how to live your life shamelessly and fearlessly. Be confident. Be you, bitch.
Shamelessly.
Stupid, man.
Hey, get right 26.
Come on now, dog.
Oh man.
She had a doctrine.
So I want y'all to catch my drift, right? So remember, it started with the perpetuation of, the imagery of our women being super sexual and seductive, because that was the justification of the white man ravishing you.
Right.
Right. So now it got to the point where, women, they feel some type of way about it, which is cool. But she's saying embrace that.
Embrace that.
Shameless. Okay, since they want to say you're going to be a hoe, they're just like, okay, a young black man, right? I'm telling him, they gonna label you a thug and a savage, a killer, and a nigga and a killer. So nigga, go out there and go dump, yeah, get you a gun. Get you a gun, nigga, go lay something down, yeah. You see how stupid that sound? But that's the same thing she's saying. She basically saying, lay down and be a hoe. They gonna turn you a hoe anyway. Stupid. Shamelessly and all that. Okay, read that.
The book of Sirach, chapter 26, verse 25.
Come on.
A shameless woman shall be counted as a dog.
So a shameless woman is not even counted as a woman. You know what I'm saying? They counted as the, what she say? Yeah. That's what a shameless woman is counted as. That this is the trick. The Esau, the Lord called them dogs. They the real dogs.
Right.
But that's what they want you to think about yourself.
Right.
She is promoting shamelessness. She telling her women, you be shameless.
Right.
Since they gonna shame you anyway. And now what all our women is looked at as what? Why you think if you pull up, somebody find the damn WAP, the cover art of the song WAP, and see what these women are. These shameless women. The scripture, they made this scripture come to life.
Right.
All right, but finish that verse.
But she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord.
But if you fear the Lord, you're going to be shamefaced. And that's
Right.
the issue. At the end of the day, our sisters don't have no fear for the Lord. Remember what I've been saying this whole time. You can have damage, you know what I'm saying, from your loved ones, your own people, you know, society, so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, if you believe in God, you believe in God and you know that God chose you, you're going to submit regardless of what, and that's what you read about our foremothers doing. In times in such of being oppressed and things of that nature and compromised by the white man or whatever, they stood firm because they feared the Lord.
That's right.
Right.
Our women without the fear of the Lord, they just gonna bow down and be hoes.
Right.
All right, your Leviticus, this is the plot. This is the white agenda behind encouraging our women to be whores and embrace whoredom. Leviticus 19:29. Y'all got the cover art? Yes, sir. All right, pull it up. Put it on the screen. So, the scripture said, a shameless woman shall be counted as a dog. This is the cover art of Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B. You got Southern Kingdom and Northern Kingdom. What are they doing on this cover? What do they look like?
Little chihuahuas.
Dogs!
Right.
Dogs. And they got big earrings in their ear with an acronym that stands for wet as P word. Whatever. Y'all know what it means? Yeah.
What?
Wet as pooty cat. That's what they pushing. Your little daughter can go on YouTube. She ain't gonna have to put in no password. She ain't gonna have to, you know what I'm saying? She can go on YouTube and type that in and see them sisters on screen showing off all their body parts. You know what I'm saying? For real.
Hey, what they gonna say though? They're gonna be like, well, we got to, you have to press OK if you're 18 and plus. Okay.
Exactly. It's a button. I not read that scripture.
Leviticus chapter 19, verse 29. Do not prostitute thy daughter to cause her to be a whore.
In other words, you know what I'm saying, black fathers, mothers, you shouldn't, like she was saying about they teach the young girls to sit with their legs closed and
Right.
stuff. Do that.
Exactly.
Do that.
Right.
Like stop the whole what's a new word?
Horosity.
Yeah, stop it. That's how you stop it. Treat them, tell them, hey, show them, cross your legs, don't open it, cause dudes gonna really be looking.
Cause see, we complain and we play sad about all the little missing girls and the sex trafficking and stuff like that. 40% of the sex trafficking victims being black. You know what I'm saying? We only 13% of the population, so on and so forth, right? But how do these little girls become prey? Because they ain't got no daddy or the mama got them dressing like them. And they got the tight leggings on. They got the little short skirts on. They got the little tops showing all their skin. You know what I'm saying? And you got sick individuals that ain't taking nothing away from their sickness, but that provokes the sick individuals to be predators upon them.
Right.
So in other words, you're inadvertently prostituting your daughter. God said, stop doing that. Why? Because read on.
Lest the land fall to whoredom.
Lest the land fall to whoredom. And that's what you see. That's black culture. It's all about, you know what I'm saying, with the D like, with the P like, you know what I'm saying. Our culture is all about sex today. Majority of our conversations with our, and I'm talking about in the world, majority of the conversations with our homeboys, majority of our sisters' conversation with their homegirls, they be about their current sexual partners.
Right.
Right.
That's our culture. That's what all these songs about. That's what the movies about. That's what the trending topics about on social media. For real. It's all about whoredom. And when the land falls to whoredom, read on.
And the land become full of wickedness.
That becomes the root of all type of wickedness in the black community.
Right.
That's why you got baby mamas. That's why you got sons and daughters growing up with single parent households being misguided. And they, you know, that produces a certain type of behavior from them.
Right.
And they just do all type. It's the root of all manner of wickedness in our community. Whoredom. Read on.
verse 30.
Oh, okay, that's it.
Hey.
So go ahead.
I was gonna say another way they prostitute as well, because they'll have those little girls, but then they'll post a photo of them on Instagram.
Right.
And then it's not this, and then they'd say, "Oh, that's cute. She cute, ain't she?" No, you got her dressing like a hoe. You prostituting her. Now you opening her to all types of people, like you mentioned.
Right. Hey, have y'all ever seen The Shy, the TV show?
We know you be watching it.
The Shy. So basically on the last season, the whole season was about the little girl getting kidnapped. They couldn't find her. She was in basically she started growing up. She started dressing like a hoe, little short dresses and all that, and somebody kidnapped her from the bus station. She been in somebody's basement getting raped and all that for however long it was. You know what I'm saying? So the point was, like Officer said earlier, now we're not taking away the sickness of what the people got going, but you provoking it because you allowing your daughter. And so what they end up finding out later on is, because the parents, they ain't know what she was doing on Instagram. Because parents ain't in their kids' business no more.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying? They be in the bedroom with the door closed.
Right.
They be doing everything. They be out, don't know where the hell they at. But get in your kids' business.
Hey, look, real quick. Jump back to Sirach 26. Because, see, remember something, like Officer Manuel brought out earlier. Y'all sleeping on the prophets. Y'all sleeping on us. Hey, we trying to bring this truth to our people.
That's right.
We trying to build up men and women that's going to take care of their kids, that's going to teach their children the right way. You understand that? Read that, verse 10.
The book of Sirach, chapter 26 and verse 10. If thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly.
Read.
Lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty.
That's the problem, like Officer Isaiah was saying. We don't get in our children's business anymore. We don't see about what they're doing. Overmuch liberty, that's too much freedom. Too much freedom to do whatever it is that they want to do. We're not watching our kids. The Bible says keep them in straightly. We got to watch our children. Read.
Watch over an impudent eye. And marvel not if she trespass against thee.
Read.
She will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler.
If we don't, then we're going to make it okay for our daughters to go out and be whores.
That's what we just saw with the cover art. They open their mouth as a thirsty traveler.
Yep. Right.
And they got lyrics about how deep their throat is.
Exactly. What did you think that meant? This is the Bible we reading, by the way. What did you think that meant? Read on.
She will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler. When he have found a fountain.
Thirsty as hell. Read.
And drink of every water near her.
And drink everybody water.
She known in the school.
Read.
By every hedge will she sit down.
By every hedge will she sit down and what?
And open her quiver.
And do what?
Open her quiver.
Read.
Against every arrow.
Come on now. Quiver, arrow, opening, insertion. Think about it.
Sex. That's what
Think about it. So the Bible says you got to watch over them. You got to make sure you in their business. You got to make sure you follow, because you will produce whores out of your household if you're not, and it's happening.
Right. People got to understand, like God says that we are an adulterous generation. So that's why you see the media pushing what they're pushing and the things going on.
Hey, get Deuteronomy 22:25. But look, so the open up against every arrow, the quiver. A quiver is what held an archer's arrows.
Right.
It's the bag.
Right.
So the more the more arrows
You went over there. Here, break it down. For
yeah, the more arrows that enter the bag, the wider the entrance of the bag get.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Loose.
Exactly. So it'll become But anyway, 22:25. I wanna bring this out because, like Officer Isaiah was saying, and this be a lot of the hoes of our people, and they attribute they what's the word? They seductiveness or whatever to something that happened to them when they was a little girl.
Right.
And then we got to stop this sickness in the black community because this happens way too often. Now, I knew it ain't just black men neither, because I knew a girl who it was her female older cousin or whatever that played with her. But this is what happens when somebody gets raped or molested. I'm going to show y'all something. Read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 25. But if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, and the man force her.
The man force her, meaning it's a forced entry. You know what I'm saying? He rape her, read.
And lie with her. Then the man only that lay with her shall die.
That's worthy of death. And it was another video we ain't pull, but this one sister was talking about people that they tell they little girls to dress a certain way or whatever when they bring them around family who they knew had a past of molesting, maybe even them, the parent. And the girl was like, stop bringing your children around family members that you know do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The Bible is saying that them men or anybody that does that is worthy of death. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't dare bring my child around with somebody that got that type of history. I don't give a damn.
Right.
That's dumb. But read on.
But unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing. There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death.
Come on.
For as when a man riseth against his neighbor and slayeth him.
And what?
And for as when a man riseth against his neighbor and slayeth him.
So he's comparing this sin and this iniquity to a man rising against his neighbor and slaying him. Read on.
Even so is this matter.
That's why the person, the rapist, is judged with death.
Right.
Because what you do to that little girl's spirit or even a little boy's spirit, you kill their spirit.
Message.
So that's why the girl grow up and she be a hoe. You murdered, you destroyed her spirit. You see what I'm saying? So now they broken. They feel like I'm already, I'm abused. I'm used. It's over with.
Might as well be.
So I'm a let it hang loose. That's what they do. That's why a lot of the hoes of our people, they had this past as a little one. Somebody touched them. Somebody, you know what I'm saying, violated them when they was little, and it broke their spirit. They grew up and they just, they got wild with it. They desired that touch. It's like it correlate with Stockholm syndrome.
Right.
You know, when you get held by a captor, and you build that bond with them, and you don't want to let go, even though they got you in captivity.
Right.
But y'all created a bond. It's like that violation of what you did entering into them so little, you know what I'm saying? They continue to desire that violation.
Right.
So they grow up, they crave that sex, that rod, which was a violation. You know what I'm saying? For real, it's murder. That is murdering our sisters. And they grow up with a destroyed mindset. For real. But
and that's crazy you saying that, because that's how we know this whole plot is Esau's, because they'll benefit off of, they know that this happens in our community, so they allow women to push themselves in that, saying, I'm a hoe, I accept this and that. And all of that trickles down and passes down to the young kids.
And this don't fall off the horse. This go back to the original point about they ravished the women in Zion. Because they was the first people raping our women. They was doing it. They was doing it to our women, right?
Right.
And they began to push the imagery of the woman. Like, she's irresistible. You can't help but to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when you see a lot of the black women speak out on issues like this, they always talk about the black man. The black man, you touch us, and y'all don't talk about the black man that do this and do that. But they don't never acknowledge the original rapist. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The original, you know what I'm saying, violator, the one that entered you by force and ravished you. That's who created. I'm telling you, bro. Man, look. Hey, but anyway, so you gotta think, bro. Like, who know the rapper Webby?
I know him.
Right.
So one of his first hit songs was "Girl, Give Me That."
Lil Webby.
One of his lyrics in there was like, "Girl, I might just have to strong arm you." So
Damn.
yeah. So
I didn't know that part.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah. So basically, by the image and all of that they push, you put all these black women on the screen showing their booty, showing their body parts. You know what I'm saying? And you see one walking in the club or in the mall or the store or something that look like the girl from the video. You know, when you watching the video, you can't like dive into the screen and do nothing. So when you see something that resembles that in real life, your mind is like, girl, give me that. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
For real.
Hey, you know what's
I'm telling you, it's a white agenda. Who is putting these sisters? Who controls the media? Who controls television?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that got into our mind like that's what we gotta put. We gotta have that.
Kid in the
Cause the
candy
rappers
store.
got it.
Hey,
They getting it. They hitting it. They slapping it on the screen. I want to
Right.
do. Girl, give me that.
Right.
For real. Go
Hey,
ahead.
it was yesterday at camp. One of the ladies was talking.
Bad and bougie birthday queen.
Bad and bougie birthday queen.
Bad and bougie.
There was
So y'all got a
there
whole
was a
camp
name
video
because of her
title.
shirt. So
She
basically,
the title of the video. Go ahead, though.
she's from like Miami, and what they do in Miami is if you shape right and you wearing leggings and stuff like that, dudes run around and hit your butt in front of your man or whatever the case may be.
Stop.
So, girl, give me that. That's what they be doing out there in other places, running around just slapping and trying to get whatever.
Hey, we got to call in. Hey, just to let y'all know, we gonna go a little bit longer today. All right, we got license.
I bet you it's Officer Jonah.
I don't think so. I thought I seen
Nah,
a
it's
weird little area
Stupelo.
code.
It's Stupelo.
Hey, bring him in.
Shalom, caller. How you doing? You on Let's Talk Truth. What's your name and where you from?
Shalom, this is Sister Denise from Detroit.
Denise from Detroit. See, I should have guessed. All praises, sis. What's your comment? What's going on with you?
Hello, fam. It's like every time y'all do a radio show, it gets home.
We listening.
I can honestly say that's so true because I've been through it. And from the age of 4, that happened to me. About my biological father and like growing up, then from 6 to 8 that happened. And I just talked to my mama about it this year, and my mama talking about she didn't know. So, cause one incident I had, I think it was my brother, granddaddy or uncle that, caught the cousin in the act. Right. And they called my mama, and I was just crying, and my mama rushed home from work, and she didn't understand why I was crying. So I asked her, I'm like, Mom, you remember that incident? She was like, yeah. I'm like, that's what happened. She was like, I didn't know that. They never told me that. I'm like, I thought she told you because that's what her and Grandpa was arguing about. And she like, no, I didn't know that. So she confronted, the grandma about it. She lying and it wasn't him, it was somebody else. I'm like, I know who did it. I'm like, that's why I say I think the most high for me coming into this truth, because I think it almost in a worldly sense, I might have hurt that old lady. And that made me fearful to have daughters, because I never wanted what happened to me to happen to my daughters.
Right.
So I always wanted sons. And how I told y'all, I used to, be a tomboy, because I thought if that made me think like it would be better to be a boy, it wouldn't happen to a boy. And I know a boy, it happened to him. A man did that to him, and it messed him up for a minute, but he got right. He wound up having a child. So I don't know if he's still straight. I haven't heard from him in years, but that going through that really makes you fearful, and make you really think like that's the only way you will find love. That's the only way love is presented to you by,
all praise.
Hey, look, sis, I got a story. So it do like you said. I know you wanted to be a tomboy because you feel like it, but it happened to boys too.
Right.
But I got a story, so I ain't gonna, cause it's I ain't gonna say who it was in my relationship with them or whatever. But basically, it was a little girl. You know what I'm saying? She had her mama and her dad in the same household or whatever. But she was a little girl, and basically her daddy, she didn't know what was going on because she was that young. But her daddy, violated her, right? So she went to her mama. She told her cousin, and her cousin brought her to her mama to tell her mama. And she told her mama, like, my daddy put Vaseline down there and it hurt it. Like, that's how she put it. So the mama knew exactly what she was talking about. But the mama didn't want to press charges or do nothing like that because she was that dependent on her. She didn't want to lose her man. That would be happening a lot of times too. You know what I'm saying? The mamas will be knowing, but they hide, the crime to keep the man in the house because they so psychologically dependent on that psycho.
Right.
So the Most High, is a judge. He a judge because the mama ended up getting in a wreck to where she got her legs amputated, and the man ended up leaving her anyway.
Damn.
So her not applying Leviticus 5:1 for her daughter being raped by the husband, the Most High judged her. She got in a wreck, lost her legs, and her husband left anyway. So this, it's crazy, but you know what I'm saying.
I'm glad my mama wasn't like that. She raised me to be independent and not to depend on a man. But seeing, my brother, granddaddy, he took care of the house. I knew that was a man's job, but I was always, raised to be where, well, if he ain't gonna do it, you do it, and don't try to depend so much on it. I was basically doing the role of a wife to an undeserving person. Yeah. And then when I did finally get married and had kids with somebody, I was still doing it to an undeserving person. It was like my whole cycle, going around and stuff. And then that makes me think, like, was I wicked? Like that scripture in Sirach, a wicked woman is given to a wicked man. That makes me think, like, was I wicked? Like, I always tried to, be a good person and thought, because I have a really big heart, I got taken advantage of because because I'm so loving and I care about everybody and I want the best for everybody, and I always got mistreated and misused for that. So
remember the scripture
getting
say
married
that we
and that
smitten
happening
with
to me,
madness.
that is terrible.
Yeah, we smitten with madness. So that's a mental illness. The scripture call it inordinate affection when you want to deal with pedophilia and all that and play with little kids and stuff like that. And that's a sickness, in a lot of our brothers and sisters, our adult brothers and sisters, to want to do that. You know what I'm saying? But we kind of going off the, but we appreciate you calling in though. Go ahead.
Hey sis, do you congregate with IUIC?
I do congregate with IUIC. I congregate with Detroit camp. I love congregating. I do thank the Most High for y'all, because if it wasn't for y'all, I'd still be lost and hurting and dealing with, things I shouldn't be dealing with. So I'm very appreciative of IUIC and the bishops and the deacons and the captains and officers.
All praise.
All praise.
I be sad when I can't congregate because it's miserable not being around, family. But I have a lot of family to talk to. I constantly talk to, leadership wise and, someone in the body, because I feel like I lose my mind if I don't.
Right. Hey, we appreciate you calling in, sis. We appreciate that. Hey, keep
Always.
enduring, stay in the spirit. Shalom. We're going to go to a quick break real quick, y'all. Shalom, sis. Most High in Christ bless.
Shalom, family. Most High Christ bless.
Shalom.
Don't go nowhere. We're going to touch on the sports real quick. We got a little extension, so don't go nowhere. This is Let's
Talk Truth.
Check, check.
I gotta keep my integrity. I gotta walk like a man. You better speak up when you talk to me. You better lift up your chin. I'm about to take over the globe. I got the whole world in my hand. I've been here before, that's the reason he sent me to do it all over again. I gotta keep my integrity. I gotta walk like a man. You better speak up when you talk to me. You better lift up your chin. I'm about to take over the globe. I got the whole world in my hand. I've been here before, that's the reason he sent me to do it all over again. Can't take you serious, you acting petty, making me laugh like Ed and Eddie. Run out the truth when things are too heavy, like Kevin Hart, he wasn't ready. I take a bullet, I die for my people. You pull the trigger just to get equal. Most of you people fall out cause it's hard. Take pressure like Joe, I'm on my job. I can't believe it, in spiritual Egypt, my people are evil than ever before. They kill a nigga for chicken like damn, bruh, I can't even walk to the store. They be out here screaming, Jesus, I love you, when I know that it's a whole bunch of noise. I can make the world do whatever I want with the spirit of Christ. I got the force. I gotta keep my integrity. I gotta walk like a man. You better speak up when you talk to me. You better lift up your chin. I'm about to take over the globe. I got the whole world in my hand. I've been here before, that's the reason he sent me to do it all over again. I gotta keep my integrity. I gotta walk like a man. You better speak up when you talk to me. You better lift up your chin. I'm about to take over the globe. I got the whole world in my hand. I've been here before, that's the reason he sent me to do it all over again.
I got it. This is a limited edition. No more crack cook in the kitchen. You cannot fathom the picture. The gods on the earth, the immortals are with you. You cannot even the odds. See that the kingdom is ours. Better make haste, you'll be down if you're not keeping these laws. I'm fighting these demons, I'm fighting these heathens. Got a long way to go. Whatever was written was always written. Zephaniah against the ropes. Confusion of faces like mannequins. Orange things like Mandarin. That probably went over their ears. But I'm back again, demolition, man.
I gotta keep my integrity. I gotta walk like a man. You better speak up when you talk to me. You better lift up your chin. I'm about to take over the globe. I got the whole world in my hand. I've been here before, that's the reason he sent me to do it all over again. I gotta keep my integrity. I gotta walk like a man. You better speak up when you talk to me. You better lift up your chin. I'm about to take over the globe. I got the whole world in my hand. I've been here before, that's the reason he sent me to do it all over again.
That boy Kanye, he a con. Confused, the blackity blonde. I think he was in Vietnam. He get in the fight, he'll probably run. We do it for real, he do it for fun. We sit at the table, he begging for crumbs. He touching my plate, you know that ain't safe. He nuts, the vegan, the native mistake. Well done, my faithful servant, for roasting this straight jive turkey. Confront him by his blasphemy, then vroom, that Kardashian. I ain't a regular rapper, every bar cold, maybe it register after. I know he probably ignore this, but till you repent, to save all that shit for the toilet. Whoa.
I gotta keep my integrity. I gotta walk like a man. You better speak up when you talk to me. You better lift up your chin. I'm about to take over the globe. I got the whole world in my hand. I've been here before, that's the reason he sent me to do it all over again. I gotta keep my integrity. I gotta walk like a man. You better speak up when you talk to me. You better lift up your chin. I'm about to take over the globe. I got the whole world in my hand. I've been here before, that's the reason he sent me to do it all over again.
Zero. Shalom, y'all. We back. Like I said, we got a little extension, so we gonna touch on the sports aspect of black culture just to show y'all it's a white agenda. It's a big plantation. So let's get the Dick Gregory video real quick.
Big old fly.
Check. The video.
Yeah. Sports team is a $1 trillion industry. And you got poor blacks and poor whites that play it. Rich white folks won't let you children play sports.
That's right.
And so what's that about? You know. And then this affects you so bad, if your car was rattling, you'd get it fixed. Football, your child get hit in the head, And you know something wrong because their hat size keep changing every week. You know, something in there is growing.
Right.
So that's the game. We hear about these major contracts. That's for poor folks. What's $100 million? Do you know any athlete or entertainer that ever opened up a major company?
No.
It's not. So that's the business side of it. So when I go to the football game and see it, I see slavery all over again. Negro in the field with something look like a football, but it's cotton.
Right.
White boy sitting on the bench with the clipboard trying to act intelligent. And that's what this is about. So we know now that for your son to go play football, you can't stop nothing because you poor and you trying to get something through them. But if your car was rattling, we would stop it. It's how they can take you and reduce you down to an insignificant nothing.
Right.
And so that's what we look at. And it's racist. And I didn't know till I started doing research that the Negro League, they made more money than the white boys. Why? Because they played 12 months out the year. Huh? They had more injuries because when you stop for 9 months, you go out, drink, party, and do all that, then you got to start it up again.
Right.
That didn't happen. And I'm really shocked to find out that the Negro League made more money than the white boys did. Because most of the time, the same teams own both of them. It's a race thing.
Right.
So they would go south, they'd go west, and it was something very interesting. When they busted the golf player. What's his name?
Tiger Woods.
When they busted him, and he got out the game for a while, okay? 50% was the loss, because I didn't realize 50% of the white folks was coming to see him lose.
Yeah.
50% come see him win. So after he wasn't there, I didn't have to buy a ticket. So when we mix all that in and put racism, white supremacy, I mean, are we really stupid enough to believe the Ku Klux Klan determined public policies? Most of them can't read or write. Huh?
Hey, so look, he made a point, right? I want y'all
Good points.
pull up the clip I just posted. Captain Ben Zion, shout out to Captain Ben Zion.
Shout out,
He
shout
did a
out.
class some months ago, and he had brought this video out. I think it's early in the video. You just gonna have to play it. But he mentioned, I just posted on the IT page. He got like an African name or something.
Dr. Gunjufu or something like that?
Yeah. So he went into basically the numbers. We aspire and hope to achieve, every black young boy playing football and basketball in the yard think they're going to be the next LeBron James and all of that. And he broke down, basically, you got to think, you set your mind and your heart to do that. You devote your life to that because you know what the young boys be saying, ball is life.
Right.
You devote your life, all your time to that, you know what I'm saying? So you don't really pay attention in school. You don't acquire no other skills. You just a baller. You get to college, you snap your ankle in half, now you're nothing. You know what I'm saying? Or you just don't make the draft. You just don't get that damn far because not many get that damn far. Play the video. Y'all found it? All right, yeah. Countering the
And now,
conspiracy to
here is
destroy
Dr.
black
Jawanza
boys.
Kunjufu with his penetrating
Now this
presentation
pause. Now this 1987. This 34 years ago. All right, play.
of countering the conspiracy to destroy black boys.
There's no topic that concerns me more than the one on the conspiracy to destroy black boys. And the reason is when our little boys are in preschool and primary grades, they're very innocent and very enthusiastic about learning. But something happens to that, and we need to find out what that is. My younger son is on the cover of this particular book, and I would like for him to grow up to be a man. Like many of you already told me, that you have sons and male students as well. Now, there's two parts of the conspiracy, Volume 1, and this is Volume 2. In Volume 1, we raised 4 questions. First question is, when did the conspiracy start? Who is against black boys? Why is there a conspiracy against them? And what exactly is the conspiracy? That's in Volume 1. In Volume 2, we look at the relationships between mothers and their sons. That must be studied. We also must look at female teachers and black male students. That must also be studied. We must look at some case studies. In other words, many of us are doing a very good job developing black boys to be men. What is it that some of us are doing that others are not doing? And then last but not least, a program called the Rites of Passage into Manhood. See, it used to be we knew when black boys became men. But now many of us don't know when we're men. It's how much reefer we smoke, how much wine we drink, how many babies we make. Until black men spell it out to black boys what it means to be a man, this conspiracy will continue. But let's go back to volume 1. When did it start? And as we begin to look at that, I want to also share with you why we call it a conspiracy to destroy black boys. You see, contrary to belief at birth, there are more black boys born in the world than there are girls. It's close, but it's 1.03 black boys born in the world to 1.0 black girls. Hear me clearly. At birth, black boys outnumber black girls 1.03 to 1.0. A brief 18 years later, it is now 1.0 available, and that's a key word, available black men, to 1.8 available black women. Almost 2 adult women for every 1 adult man. Now, the only question that should be going through your minds right now is what happened? We keep raising the wrong question. We keep asking, why do black men hang on corners? Why do black men lack direction? Well, if you ask this question, you answer the question 18 to 30 years too late. It is not a conspiracy to destroy black men. It's a conspiracy to destroy black boys. If you destroy him as a boy, he'll never become a man. Not going to look around a room and tell you know where are they. If they are not available to black women, where are they? Call the roll. In jail, there are 329,000 brothers in prison right now. 1 of every 4 brothers will go to prison. Where else? Or death. There's numerous ways that we die. There's homicide, suicide, drugs, war, high blood pressure, and the leading killer among black men, lung cancer. Our love for cigarettes, especially cool. Smoke them all day long, die the exact same way. Cool. Where else? We have prison, death. What else to make us unavailable to black women? Yes, homosexuality. As you said earlier, 1 of every 9 men in this country are homosexual. Where else? Yes.
Hospitalized, institutionalized.
Okay, so institutionalization, and there's not only in terms of hospitals, but also mental institutions, and of course, when they get released, many times being homeless. There's still one other large popular area. Thimby?
They marry white women.
Okay, interracial marriages. Now I want to pause there for a moment, because you would think if anybody is going to marry outside the race, it would be black women. You got 2 black women for every 1 black man. But as Thimby pointed out, it's exactly the opposite. There are 164,000 interracial marriages, of which 116,000 are brothers. That means 48,000 sisters. It's almost a 2-to-1 ratio of black men to black women marrying outside the race. But remember, as you said in the earlier workshop, if the definition of beauty is light skin, long hair, and blue eyes, why stop with Renee, the light-skinned sister? Why not get you the real thing? Got some serious problems here. And then black men tell me, I can't find a black woman to understand me. You mean out of 20 million black women, you can't find one to understand you? You don't need a white woman, you need a psychiatrist. But that's another workshop on relationships. But I just want to share with you, we got some very serious problems. But to tease this audience, black women are tired of being by themselves. And in the earlier issue of Essence magazine, the article said, guess who's coming to dinner now? Black women are tired of being by themselves. In other words, brothers, you can't have it both ways. You can't have 2 black women to choose from and still marry a white woman. You can't have it both ways. Black women are tired of being by themselves. Now, that's with regards to the stats, why we wrote the book, because we saw the shortage of black men. But what we want to begin to find out is, when did it start? You see, it's called the 4th grade syndrome. Studies show that black boys may be the best students in the country up until the 4th grade. So we wanted to find out what your son, a male student, was doing at the beginning of the 3rd grade, then at the end of the 7th grade, and then measure the progress. Let me give you 3 examples. We had a little boy 5 years ago on an Alba reading test score at the 98th percentile in the country. In other words, a walking genius. That means only 2% male, female, white, or black had a higher score than he at the beginning of the 3rd grade. At the end of 7th grade, the same boy now drops down to the 35th percentile. Engineer potential here. Pimp or pusher now. Scores should have improved 5 years. Instead, they only improved 1.3. 2 more examples. We had a little boy at the 92nd percentile. He dropped down to the 24th percentile, and his scores only improved 2.1. But let me give you the average example. We had a little boy at the 63 percentile. He dropped down to the 4 percentile, and his score didn't improve a year, a month, a week, not even a day. There are 3 critical stages in black boys' development. Infancy to 9, 9 to 13, and 13 to 18. You see, it's easy to see the negative behavior here when he's already dropped out, laid up on some street corner lacking direction. It's more difficult to see it around 9 years of age, when they begin to sit further in the back of the class, when they begin to ask less questions, when their ball becomes more important than their book, when they begin to cheat on their tests.
Stop. See, we finally getting to the meat now.
Right.
Remember the point of us bringing this, because he done brought out a lot of stuff.
Right.
You know, I got Exodus 1 on hold right now. But look, so he said ages 9 to 13, that's the point of, because that's when a little boy gets smart enough to try to think for itself. And at that point, through television, through idols of either entertainers or athletes, the ball becomes more important than the book. Bro, you know, hey, so we remodeling the store. We remodeling Walmart, right? My job, my company. We remodeling. So I be thumbing through books in the little book section. And I be reminiscing. I be thinking about when I was a little boy, how I used to love to read. When I hit about, I want to say about 10, 11, I had a high-ass reading level, but I had stopped reading. I just stopped reading books. But I used to love to read books. I used to read whole collections. Like the series of books and stuff, I used to read through the whole collection. For real, boy, I hit a certain age, and I stopped reading. It was in that range of 9 to 13. I stopped reading
heavy,
books.
Bro. That's going
for real.
That's heavy, Mike. That's my kids right there.
Yeah.
As far as that, the changing of the
Because
education.
then
As
the
far,
game become more important than the book. The
Right.
ball become, the girl become, a lot of stuff become more important than the book. But he gonna get into the ball becoming more important than the book. Play on.
Sons and male students on early. Teach them how to read early. Teach them the beauty of being black and believing in God early. But many of us have waited. And we have waited almost too late to develop black boys to be men. You know what I'm getting at. America spends $2,300 on Head Start. They spend $38,000 on prison. If Reagan wanted to balance the budget, I can show you save about $36,000 per person. It's much easier to educate than it is to incarcerate. Now you raise the questions. How long do you stay in Head Start? Year? 2 years is the most? How long do you stay in prison? The rest of your life? Question number 1. Question number 2. Does Head Start work? A 19-year study documents that Head Start works. But in prison, 85% of the inmates that get released go right back in. But as Jesse Jackson says, we have 2 choices. We can either send me to Penn State or to State Penn. It's your choice. We have got to find ways to intervene. Now, we have a whole workshop just on the 4th grade syndrome. I now want to ask you, what are some of the reasons you feel to explain why black students, especially black boys, were doing so well K through 3, and now scores declining in the intermediate and upper grades? What explains it? Yes?
I think the learning style changes abruptly in 4th grade from what might have been more right brain activities in the primary grades into all of a sudden all left brain activities.
Okay, so a change in learning styles or methodology from the teacher. From a holistic learning style to a left brain. Okay, very good. Any others? Yes?
I think that there's a lot of rejection on the part of the female teachers in the classroom.
And the rejection increases with the upper grades? Why do you think it increases?
Because of the students, perhaps his natural makeup, hyperactivity and that sort of thing.
And that may be increasing? Well, it may be increasing because we're now expecting them to stay in school or stay in a chair even longer. Okay. Any others that contribute to this 4th grade syndrome? We have a change in learning style. We have the teacher's outlook on the student. What else? Yes?
The student becomes more culturally aware and differs significantly from the teacher often.
Okay, so the child's now becoming more aware of their culture and racial identity. Okay, very good. Any others? The major reason you have not given yet, and maybe that's why this problem is still with us, Terry. First name is?
Richard.
I'm sorry, Richard.
Well, the peer group starts to form and become stronger about the peer group.
And that's unfortunate, Richard, that you said that, because as the age increases, the peer pressure is on the increase. while parental involvement is on a decrease. I don't know who told parents when your child gets older, they need less of your time rather than more. When I speak to Head Start parents, 80% of them are there. Elementary school, 30%. High school, almost a joke. We have to work on that. That's another workshop, too, on parenting all the way through. Not just in those quote-unquote tender years. But the major reason, it's not on the board yet. Still looking for it. Yes. Go in.
I think, too, that young boys, and particularly young black boys, in the primary grade...
to like 2 minutes up. We gotta, he get to the point. I know it's early in the video, I'm just not sure what point. Skip like 2 minutes up.
Hair the texture of wool and feet the color of bronze. But secondly, the Lord's Prayer says on earth as it is in heaven. Young people and men want some action. They want some programs. If there are no programs in your church, they will see you later in heaven. As a result of not finding a man at home, few on television, few in school, and not wishing to attend church, the last place is the streets. And that's the problem. The streets do a very poor job making men. They do a better job making pimps, pushers, and a few basketball players. Their hero, Michael Jordan, has said there were 1 million brothers that won his job last year in the NBA. Of this million, only 400,000 will even make it to play high school ball.
This is exactly what I wanted. This is where I wanted to get to. So, you got to think, like I said, right? We watch TV. We see LeBron. We see Melo. We see Chris Paul. We see, all these shapes and sizes of hoopers. So you could be any size. You could be tall. You could be short. You could be a little thick. You could be a little skinny. It's a basketball player out there that give you hope.
Right.
I'm going to learn all his skills. I'm going to do everything he do, and I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it to the league. So he finna give a breakdown of the statistics out of all these, and this is in 87.
Right.
So he finna give a breakdown of who actually make it that damn far. You finna be shocked by the number, the ratio. All right, go back about 10 seconds and play.
The streets do a very poor job making men. They do a better job making pimps, pushers, and a few basketball players. Their hero, Michael Jordan, has said there were 1 million brothers that won his job last year in the NBA. Of this 1 million, only 400,000 will even make it to play high school ball. Of this 400,000, only 4,000 will make it to play college ball. Of this 4,000, only 35 will go to the coveted NBA. Of this 35, only 7 start. And the average life in the NBA is 4 years. You got 1 million brothers looking for 7 full-time jobs that last 4 years.
Stop!
This can
do y'all understand what this man just said? You got 1 million Negroes looking for 7 full-time jobs that last 4 years. That is destruction. That means it's 999,994 kids. You know what I'm saying? That's end up being nothing. Dream shattered. 999,000. Just everything out the window.
Hey, you know what? You know what's the next avenue? Rap. That's the next avenue. I'm gonna start rapping in my city.
You know, a lot of the rappers used to be former athletes.
Hey, he said it was they on the last 4 years, right? This full-time job, and so all their whole life they were training for basketball. They forgot to educate them on understanding of economics.
You don't got time to learn about all of that,
right?
You working, you hooping,
right?
You literally waking up
all his life,
in the morning, running.
Right.
Then go to school and
so
you got like they even got it now where like you're not even in class all day.
Oh yeah, you get out of it. You get to go and do that. So you imagine, so the 4 years that they have in the industry, they get out of that and they don't know nothing.
Right.
Now they're that the display he showed before. Now they back in the streets.
Look, it's like the rap game, right? They gave you the check or whatever.
Right.
That last 4 years. After that,
you're like,
you ain't getting nothing.
What is it?
You ain't getting no more money. So yeah, $1 million is good, but is it good after 1,000 days?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? After 3 years and some change, where is that million? You didn't stun it. You didn't got the big house.
No,
you didn't
no,
got the
no.
nice cars. You didn't blew all type of money on women
Taxes.
and stuff like that. You didn't bought jewelry. And then 4 years later, you were a free agent. You ain't got nobody interested in your talent. Your playing style played out or whatever. Now what you got?
Now they want to
Now
go
you
overseas.
10 years later, you back at Walmart.
You lose.
You back whipping up chicken in Popeyes.
You a Delonte West.
Yeah, you end up asking for change on the street because you never knew nothing except basketball, and it lasted 3-4 years.
Bro, you
They
know
didn't give you the stats on that.
Hey, what's crazy, bro? Like, cause I used to hoop when I was younger, and I had, that's just natural, damn near. And it's sad to say, that's just natural for a so-called black man to.
Because you know what? Because you know why? Because I know for me growing up, especially in a house with women, like, go outside.
Play.
Exactly. Go play. Get out my face. You see what I'm saying? That's the type of parenting that we have. If we do got daddies, they outside. They running the streets. You know what I'm saying? The mama, she want her space. She want to smoke a little cigarette, listen to her music.
Right.
Go outside and go play. Stop asking me for stuff. So we go outside and we go play.
Right.
I play, and I ain't never been good at sports, but I played football and basketball
Come on
every
now, dog.
damn day of my life.
Right.
Every day.
Every
And
day.
I wasn't even good. I was playing every day.
Hey, this goes back to the agenda of the white man, because they created that. So they started throwing that ball, and then what they do? Oh, instead of us being outside in this sun burning up, let's go in the inside and get these Negroes going here.
Let
and
them
throw
do
a ball,
it, and we'll watch.
Right, throw a ball in a hole, and we can benefit way more than this football game out here. Just by having them inside.
Because you got to think, white people, like even Larry Bird, he was cold.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Dirk.
But, yeah, Dirk and Whiskey. What's the new one?
Luka.
Dallas.
Luka.
Yeah, Luka Novacek or
Yeah,
something.
nah, that's the other dude.
They
from,
cold,
yeah.
but you got, when you look at the John Morants and you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like when we do stuff, we be out.
Our body is way better.
You know what I'm saying? We be looking
We-
hard.
right. We
Like,
be
no
soft.
matter, they can be good, they can score as much, but they don't put on as good a
It
show.
ain't smooth.
Nah,
You know what I'm saying?
Cause you gonna get the reaction out there. We on your top.
Oh, for real, we gonna put you on.
That was
We gonna,
him.
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
For
Hit you
real.
with one of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
on your way, boy.
So look, now go to the other one. What was that called for higher learning? That clip. Go to that real quick.
The
Go to
clip.
the other
Yeah.
one. Yeah. The other
That one.
The last one we sent.
You would think we could see it.
The
Little Rock,
last
Little
one we
Rock.
sent.
That one.
Little Rock.
Right
Little
there.
Rock.
The last, that one
Little
right
Rock.
there.
There y'all go.
Play.
Oh,
Hey, why you going to this school?
all right, stop. Hold on, real quick.
Because that's what.
All right, so if you ain't never seen this movie, the movie is called Higher Learning. All right, it's a whole lot of. That's a scene. You know, but look, it's called Higher Learning. So who you got? Omar. What's his name? Omar. He's going to this school. All right. So check out what Cube said to him.
Why you going to this school? Well, because that's what they say you need to do to make it in the country.
He said that's
What's
what they
make-
say you got to do to make it in this country. Rick, you go up.
Man, but your printer's out of paper.
Well, then go buy some more. What's making? You know, getting a degree, making that long dough. Is that right? So you in it for the money or the knowledge? Check out this situation. You at a football game, thousands of people there. All of them white. The American flag is right above your head. They're about to play the national anthem. All these people turn around and look you dead in your eye. What do?
I stand up. I'll probably be so embarrassed to, stand up, you know what I'm saying?
got you running for the school, huh?
Yeah, partial scholarship.
And if you don't run, you don't get no tuition, right?
That's the way the system goes.
Run, nigga, run.
So what you see is on that clip, if you ain't making it in sports, because he was having hard times, you know what I'm saying, passing tests, getting the grades that he needed to actually get the degree. Like Q said to him or mentioned to him. So if you on run for the school, you're not gonna get this. So if you just tear a hamstring, break your leg, and you out, they're gonna kick you out. That's it. You're not making it.
Exactly. Now play that last video, the one with the football players on the thumbnail. So now this is a heathen that studied African American history, and she's so interested with us. You know what I'm saying? But she gave a good breakdown on how, you know what I'm saying, especially football is slavery. Like from college and NFL. It's a big plantation. Now, you know what I'm saying? Like what the officer just brought out with that clip, basically that's bondage in itself. The only way you're going to get education or we going to pay for your education is if you on that field running. So if something happened to you or whatever, injury, and you're not able to run or you have a change of heart and you don't want to play the game no more, guess what? We not paying for your books no more.
Yep.
So we coming from poverty. We can't afford their high ass tuition or whatever. So we enter into a world of debt. And we fail to stay healthy and stay motivated to play they sports and on their team and where they, logos and all of that. If we decide or something happened where we can't do it no more, we become in literal bondage, debt for a very long time.
Hey, officer. So in that video as well, I know we skipped over it a little bit, but he asked him a question. 400,000 people in the audience, and the national anthem come, and they all white. What do? He said, I'm going to stand up. What they show you is that's assimilation. And that's what they want us to do. Assimilate to their doctrine, their philosophy, just like in the Maccabees. Assimilate to them. Lose yourself. Lose your soul, in a sense. That's crazy, man.
Yep.
That
Go
video?
ahead, play it.
Hi everybody, welcome back to In the Huddle. I'm Jillian Kushner. Today is going to be a different video. We're going to do a kind of discussion topic, let you guys know my thoughts about something, then I want to hear y'all's thoughts. But before you go, please subscribe below and like the link in the description box, and let's get started. So this discussion topic was actually submitted by a viewer, and I really liked the idea of it. The discussion topic was, he heard a comment that compared the NFL Combine to selling slaves. And I thought this was really interesting for many reasons. If y'all didn't know, I minored in African American Studies when I was in college at the University of Texas. And we actually discussed this in one of my classes. The discussion we had in my class didn't compare the NFL Combine to slavery, but sports as a whole. It's a plantation mentality, basically, and it's true when you start to think about it. So let's break it down. When we're talking about sports in this context, we're really talking about basketball and football, both at college and professional level, males sports, obviously. And the plantation mentality is really stemmed from the fact that just about every person on that field or on that court is black, and almost nobody in the management is black. So you're looking at these teams.
Pause. So 70% of NFL players are black. 70. That is a little over 2/3. 15% of NFL coaches are black. That is less than 1/5. 0%. Zilch. Nada.
Not a nan nutter.
Not a nan nigga is an NFL CEO or president. 0% of owners, masters in this industry are black. all of the masters are the other nations, primarily white, Caucasian.
The coaches is the trustees.
Wow. Play on.
95% black with white coaching staff, white GMs, white owners. Everyone's white. You look in the stands, and sporting events have a majority white audience. A ticket to sporting events is really expensive. A lot of people don't want to go, so it's kind of something really for people of, I'm not going to say wealth because it's not super expensive, but some sort of wealth, which typically ends up being predominantly white people. You know, when you see black people in the stands at basketball games, football games, it's usually they are related or friends of players on the field. It's not really a huge outing in black culture to be going to sporting events, where it's very prominent in white culture. So you're thinking about this, just think about it this way. You have basically 95% black people on this court or on this field playing this game. You have white people who are controlling it and white people sitting there clapping away, enjoying the game. It is very reminiscent of slave times. If y'all know this at all, a lot of times slave masters used to have their slaves fight each other to the death. It was kind of something that they enjoyed. If you watch Django, it happened in there. I don't know why, but they liked to pin slaves against each other. They would put bets on it, stuff like that, and that's a lot of what sports these days is reminiscent of, which is pretty horrific. And I'm not saying you don't have to enjoy sports. Obviously, I love sports. Y'all should know this, but we can't deny the correlations that we see here because they're pretty obvious. So let's now get back to the combine, and you're looking at the combine, and let's map this out now. You are testing these athletes on their skills, seeing which of these teams wants to pick them out. So let me think about it this way. Like I said, predominantly black. You have all these black athletes jumping, running, showing their athletic ability, while these white scouts in the stands are sitting there taking notes, seeing which one they like, which is very, very reminiscent of a slave trade. Back, during slave trades, you would put the slaves up on these little podiums. Their masters would show, what they can do, their athletic ability, how they're built, how strong they are, that type of stuff. So not really athletic ability, but more so strength, if they'd be good, lifting things, doing yard work, that type of stuff. And, the white slave masters would sit there and pick which one they like, and then they'd select him. And it's kind of like their own little NFL draft or NBA draft, and it's kind of a scary thing to think about because it's very reminiscent. And some of you might think this is a stretch, I'm reaching too far, and you can have that opinion. That's your opinion to have, but I see it differently. Yes, these guys are making millions of dollars, but that's just simply covering up what it actually is. You can't say that what I'm saying is wrong. You can't disagree with me that it's predominantly white ownership, predominantly white coaches, predominantly white audience, and predominantly black players. The way it looks is very reminiscent of past times. And I'm not saying that we need to abolish sports or anything like that. I'm just saying we need to kind of see that there's a correlation here, and it's a little scary, and we are kind of in some bad territory. Another thing that's reminiscent of the slave trade is when these athletes are just traded. They are literally traded like property. It's unbelievable. You think that they weren't people. You think that they didn't have families to move and houses to find and all this stuff to take care of when they move. They're just traded around like objects. And I know that's part of the sport, and that's how things work in sports, but it's very weird. It's very reminiscent of different things. And again, I'm not saying abolish sports. I don't want to abolish sports. I love sports. But there's some weird similarities here that I think that need to be acknowledged and discussed, and I found it very interesting when I learned about this in class, and I hope you guys find this.
Alrighty then. So I remember I was watching the documentary, Derrick Rose. He got a documentary, and he was having an interview. In the middle of an interview, like going into maybe how he gonna be sticking with Chicago for the long run because that's his hometown. It's a team that drafted him. He was an MVP with him. Made it damn near to the finals with him and stuff like that. And in the middle of the interview, he got a phone call, and they told him that he was traded to New York. So you got to think, he didn't get no approval. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't have no say-so. He wouldn't like, hold on now, I don't know. They traded his ass. Like, it was done.
Right.
Get Nehemiah 9 real quick.
They own his name. They own his guy.
Nehemiah 9 real quick.
They own all his royals and stuff.
This is America.
So look, even when cause this is the deception, right? They give these players big checks or whatever. Now imagine, okay, you the owner, you an executive. Just think about a company, you know what I'm saying? Like say an oil company, for example, right? Them people, the workers or whatever, they might make $30 an hour, 40, you know, that's a big, you know, salary or whatever. In order for somebody to pay you that much, imagine what they have to be making. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And for somebody to pay you that much, they making at least triple that, quadruple that. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So we so simple and we think that there's, you know, that's a ticket, you know, like they successful not knowing that they making people that don't have to lift a finger.
Right.
Don't got to step foot on the court. Don't have to go to not one practice. Don't have to, you know what I'm saying? Got to go through one intense training session, making billions
And they don't even
of
see
dollars.
you half the time.
Exactly, making billions of dollars of your talent, and they give you a small fraction of that. All right, read what you got.
The book of Nehemiah, chapter 9, verse 37. And it yielded much increase unto the kings, whom thou hast set over us because of our sins. Also, they have dominion over our bodies.
They have what?
They have dominion over our bodies.
So understand, when you sign contract, that you have an owner. You know what I'm saying? When you are part of a team, when you're an athlete, you're not a free agent. When you're on a team, you literally have an owner.
Free agent.
And if he want to say we letting you go or we trading you, just like when you was on a plantation, you was a hard-working slave, you was a star on a plantation, you had a good relationship with your master. But somebody else came from somewhere and like, hey, I give you this and that for that good old slave nigga you got.
I'll trade you.
Guess what that master gonna do without your control, with even with your wife and your kid, your daughters, your boys or whatever? Guess what that master gonna do? Trade your ass.
Right?
Trade your ass with no remorse. Remember, she said these people got families, they got houses.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They kids are enrolled in schools in these places, these cities. And they just send your ass 1,000 miles away, just out of nowhere, and you have no control. Why? Because they got dominion over your body. No matter how much money they give you, they have dominion. They your owners.
I'm tired of this, man. When there was when the virus was going on and they was doing the finals or whatever, what was it? The dome. Like they made them stay in there during the whole finals.
Yeah.
Like they couldn't go nowhere. If you got caught going out, guess what? You off the team. Goodbye.
Bro,
Thanks,
if you get found on a live or something like that without
what,
your
Paul
mask, it's a wrap. It's over with.
Hey,
Come on now,
I
dog.
sent another video, a quick little video to.
Okay.
If that's cool. Now, it's a actual comedy clip. If
Hey,
y'all know.
before we get there, get
Drew
First
C.
Maccabees real quick, chapter 2, and verse 17. So they'll find the biggest, strongest, most influential Negro, and this go with both entertainment and sports today. They find the biggest, strongest, most talented Negro or whatever, and they'll offer him a check. Because you know we poor, we ain't got nothing. You know what I'm saying? We going to give you a check to own you, to be able to profit a lot more money off of you, or influence your people to destruction. But it's okay because you're going to be well off. Remember? And that's what our people do. Like, I'm trying to make it out the hood. Think about that. Think about this statement. I'm trying to make it out the hood.
Right.
So you make it out or whatever. You got a house in a type of neighborhood or whatever, but your people, relatives and all, is left behind in the ghetto. You got to think if other nations was in that situation, they are going to build the hood. You see what I'm saying? they gonna turn wherever they at into Chinatown.
Exactly.
Or Germantown. Or, you know what I'm saying? That's what they gonna do if they get a check. But we done been destroyed to the point where we all about self.
Right.
Why? Because we don't know our identity. We don't know our nationality. Therefore,
Facts.
there's no love for one another to that level because we don't know who we are.
Hell
We
no.
just want to be where they at.
Right.
Read what you got.
First Maccabees chapter 2, verse 15. 17. Then answered the king's officers and said to Mattathias, on this wise, thou art a ruler and an honorable and great man in this city, and strengthened with sons and brethren. Now therefore come thou first and fulfill the king's commandment, like as all the heathen have done, yea, and the men of Judah also, and such as remain at Jerusalem. So shalt thou and thy house be in the number of the king's friends, and thou and thy children shall be honored with silver and gold and many rewards.
So it say that they basically offering him a deal. You be this certain type of influence on your people.
Right.
You come and you transgress God's laws, we're going to give you success. We're going to give you gold, silver, many rewards. You're going to be among the king friends. We're going to put you in our neighborhood.
You're going to be honorable.
You're going to have to put in a little code to get into your house and your gate, just like us.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And a lot of our brothers and sisters sell out. They buy into this because they don't have the mentality or the knowledge that Mattathias had. Read on. This was Mattathias' response.
Verse 19. Then Mattathias answered and spake with a loud voice, though all the nations that are under the king's dominion obey him, and fall away every one from the religion of their fathers, and give consent to his commandments, yet will I and my sons and my brethren walk in the covenant of our fathers.
So he understand he has something without material value that he lived for. He understood that we as the Israelites, we have a purpose to uphold God's laws as our heritage. So I'm not finna sell out my heritage to take on your Greek customs and things of that nature, you know, in exchange for silver and gold or money. The price of my soul and my pride in my nation and my tribe, being a leader and standing on the principles that God gave us, you can't put a check, you can't write out a check to cash, you know what I'm saying, to give exchange for that. You can't. But since our people don't have no understanding of who they are, you know what I'm saying, they don't know that they was given a heritage, which is the laws.
The laws, right.
They don't know this, so they quick to sell out. I ain't got nothing else to live for.
Right.
I'm just trying to get out the hood. So they come with us with that same tactic. Hey, you mighty among your people. Hey, we got a check for you. We got a house. Or we got a whip and a chain for you to put on. And you know, all you gotta do is just come conform to our agenda. All right, get 2 Maccabees real quick, chapter 4. So just in case y'all didn't know, these sports and all that was instituted by the Greeks. And we ain't talking about the Japhet Greeks. We talking about Alexander the Greek, the Macedonian, his line on down, you know what I'm saying, the Caucasian Greeks. This is what they instituted. 2 Maccabees chapter 4 and verse 9.
The book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 4, verse 9. Beside this, he promised to assign 150 more, if he might have license to set him up a place for exercise.
A place for exercise or a gymnasium. Read.
And for the training up of youth in the fashions of the heathen.
Right, that age 9 to 13, they know where to target the boys at. Remember, the agenda is against black boys.
Right.
Because if you get to them young enough, they'll never grow up to be a black man.
Right.
That's why we got 30, 35-year-olds still living with their mama. They ain't got no driver license. You know what I'm saying? Never paid a bill. Never had nothing in their own name. Y'all may be too young. Y'all know the big timers. I'm hood Rick, got everything in my mama's name.
I remember that.
You see what what I'm saying?
That was like the
'Cause I'm
barbecue
hood
theme
rich.
song.
Na, 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 na. You see what I'm saying? That right there, that's their Psalms 137. That's funny to them.
Exactly what that is. The next line has got a quarter tank of gas.
Right. In my new E-class.
Bruh.
Exactly.
He said that's
They
okay.
dumb.
That's
Shame on
okay. Right. Exactly. But read that.
And to write them of Jerusalem by the name of Antiochians.
So this part is heavy. It said to write them of Jerusalem, meaning they got a nationality. They got somewhere that they from that they could represent. But we're going to write upon them the name of the Antiochians or the Razorbacks or the Tigers or the Diamondbacks or the, what's some more?
Trojans.
Lions, the Trojans.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The, what's some more? Seahawks.
Seahawks.
You know what I'm saying? The
Rim
Saints.
Rockers.
The hell no.
Get out of here.
Hey, I thought we was bringing them back, man.
Right. So that's heavy because that's what they do. For real, you gotta think of how many people you look on black people profile, what they cover photo be. Colts jerseys, Jaguar jerseys, Cowboy. Why do black so many Negroes think they Cowboys?
They
You
do,
doing
they
on
do,
that
they
now?
do,
That's a sickness,
They
bro.
do. They do.
That is a sickness. Them literally the people that overthrew you and enslaved you, and you think you're that.
Right.
They don't wanna
You
see
really think you a damn cowboy?
They don't want you on the 9.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Who that nigga on that nag?
Get off the 9.
But that's what they do. They write up on them the name of their teams and their logos and stuff like that. Read 12.
Verse 12.
Uh-huh.
For he built gladly a place of exercise under the tower itself, and brought the chief young men under his subjection, and made them wear a hat.
And made them do what?
And made them wear a hat.
Can y'all pull up a picture like
Matter of fact, the recent
when
draft.
Every draft, yeah.
you can do the draft, or you can do when they commit to a college. And it just pull it up real quick. Read verse 14. Watch this.
Verse 14. That the priests had no courage to serve anymore at the altar.
So we said, to hell with upholding God's laws. To hell with our true office and duty and purpose that God gave us. Everybody cheering for the athletes. All the women, they cheering the athletes on. All the other guys over there playing. You know, it ain't no reason for me to be over here doing godly stuff. The priests had no more courage to serve at the altar. Read.
But despising the temple
Uh-huh.
and neglecting the sacrifices.
So did the love for sports lead to the neglect? Even because we know the Christian church is just as demonic as a football field or a court.
Right.
But think about it. When you start playing for AAU, you doing all these tournaments and you know what I'm saying? You playing sports and all that, you going to church a whole lot less. You see what I'm saying? You tend to neglect that stuff. Your ball is life. You ain't worried about no God. The ball is my God. Kobe is my God. Kobe, every time you do some Kobe, you see what I'm saying?
Yep.
For real. And that's what happened. Once we started to get in them gymnasiums and started to play them sports, it said we neglected the sacrifices. We despised the temple. We said to hell with God and his church. Read.
Hasten to be partakers of the unlawful allowance in the place of exercise.
So God said what be going on them courts and them football fields. Think about their attire. You know what I'm saying?
You so strange for a little piece of change.
Think about it. God said that is an unlawful allowance.
Right.
So should we be putting our kids in sports?
Hell no.
There you go. That's God said that is an unlawful allowance.
That's
Read
right.
verse 15.
Verse 15.
Uh-huh.
Not setting by the honors of their fathers.
Because this what happened. We no longer give a damn about our heritage, our culture, our history. Nah, but what do?
But liking the glory of the Grecians best of all.
We want the glory of being a Cleveland Cavalier. We want the glory of being a Brooklyn Net.
Right.
We want the glory of being a New Orleans Saint. You see what I'm saying? Meanwhile, your people, we don't know our nationality.
When we are the real saints.
For real, we the real saints.
Right, you want to be a fake saint with the Esau.
Exactly. We no longer give a damn about that. We begin to take pride in the glory of, being glorified and being cheered for in that field of that court, period. Right? We give everything up dealing with our people to receive that glory.
Right.
For real.
Right.
Now play that clip of Isaiah tomorrow.
At the gym used to go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
play that. Yeah. So read that verse again.
Verse 15?
12.
Verse 12. Verse 12. For he built gladly a place of exercise under the tower itself, and brought the chief young men under
The
his...
chief what?
The chief young men.
The chief young Israelite men.
Under his subjection.
Come on.
And made them wear a hat.
And made them wear a hat.
All right.
Y'all think, bro, this is in the Bible. Y'all asleep.
That's right. Wasn't Georgia like one of the major slave cities too? I mean, states.
Of course.
The National Signing Day hat ceremony.
He going right back to slavery again.
Where do you see these is Negroes?
Right.
And remember, he broke down 1 million or 400,000 or 4,000 or 7 or 4. You be seeing it be a lot of these, but only a few of them make it to a certain level.
Right.
A lot of these make it to the combine, they make it to the practice squad or whatever. They don't never step foot on the actual field. They don't never make it on that actual court. For real.
Yeah,
That's what be happening.
They go right to training camp and be in the D League.
But look at all that glory. Look at all that glory they get. People, you got the other nations, your people clapping, smiling, happy as hell.
Got to make some money
It's the
off
glory
of
of the Grecians. They make you wear that hat. For real. The Bible is crazy.
That's
so look,
right.
Y'all, hey, so I think we pretty much established, sports is not of us. That is a white agenda.
Right. Facts.
To make them rich, to give them entertainment or whatever. They give you little pennies that make it seem like it's a lot, but it's not compared to what they get. You know what I'm saying? It's just like the big hard-working slavery. If you watch roots of slave movies and stuff, they give the good hard-working slaves their own little cabin.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They got amenities.
Got privileges and stuff.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, but they still own a plantation.
Right, you still a slave.
They not free. They still owned by the oppressor.
Hey, they still on the plantation. Your chain's just a little longer than the brother in the field. That's all it is.
If the Negro in the field revolt, you gonna get beat too. At the end of the day.
Right.
The end
So,
of the day.
let's get Ephesians 6 and 12. We're going to shut it down. So, I'll praise to the Most High. Look, pray that y'all got edified today. I hope y'all understand what we embrace is black culture. The rap game, hip-hop, WAP, twerking. What else we went over? The sports.
Indian oppressor.
Yeah, all of this is a white agenda. You think that ball is life? You think that that's our culture, the bling bling and the LeBron James and all of that? You think that's our culture? You sleep. You sleep, bro. That is a white agenda. The white man put that up on you. He mixed it up with sugar and spice and everything nice and poured it down your throat.
Right.
And you hypnotized and mesmerized and you stuck.
Right. Even
Get some help.
Right.
Even the Ballless Life, isn't that a white group of boys that started that?
I don't know, but
They
I know
hoop,
this
They
much.
go around hooping in different towns and cities.
They make you think ball is life, but you can't even make a
I
life
don't be
out of
knowing
ball.
what you be
And they
finna
be
say,
doing
I'm
kind of
surprised.
shots and stuff. Yeah, there's some dudes on YouTube. They say Ballless Life. They started a whole little trend. That's what people getting that Ballless Life stuff. They be hooping on people.
Can't even make a life out of it.
Yeah, that's
Bruh.
Esau.
Four gonna make
Esau
it.
started
seven gonna make it before you.
That's idolatry. Ball is life.
Right.
That's it.
All you got, people, you got the Decatur State. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you got
Go
all
around.
of so much knowledge in the world to seek and to enrich yourself and be educated and empowered. and you say a ball, something that's inflated and bounces around, is life.
Wow.
And we are destroyed, bro. We are damn destroyed. Read what you got. Ephesians 6 and 12.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 12.
Come on.
For we wrestle not against flesh and blood.
Right. So our warfare, understand, it's not with flesh and blood. You know what I'm saying? You got to think. You know what I'm saying? We've been conquered for hundreds of years. You know what I'm saying? We've been subjugated. They've been able to keep us in a slower state while developing, you know, a strong, powerful military, weapons out of this world, unimaginable, from the drones to the a chemical bomb, size of a penny. You know what I'm saying? They got raid. That's not our war.
Right.
We not scheming on no slave revolt no more. It's a wrap for all of that. Them days is behind us. Read.
But against principalities.
But against what?
But against principalities.
So the warfare, we not coming together and, you know, huddling around like Nat Turner them did, trying to figure out a way to, you know, physically overthrow them. We gotta cast down these principalities.
Right.
We've been taught that it's a principle growing up as a black man. You either gonna ball, like literally ball, or hit the streets and find a way to ball. Or hit the booth and find a way to ball. Them the only ways out. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a principle. You're a young black girl growing up, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to, you know, you're gonna have to give somebody something to get what you got. What's the saying about the pocketbook or something like that? Somebody help me out with the wicked mamas be telling their daughters, you gotta use what you got to get what you want. But it's something they gotta do with a pocketbook though.
That's something.
Okay, but anyway. So that's what we taught. That's a principality. In our neighborhoods growing up, we already know we gonna have to be the savages, athletes, or hoes. You know, I'm a PhD. I'm an independent black woman. Your mind ain't no marriage or building no nation or nothing. You might say the hell, I just like women. For
Which
real.
is Esau agendas again.
Exactly. That's a principality. The fact that you even think you can dare live a lifestyle like that.
Right.
Read.
But against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world.
Believe it or not, you know what I'm saying? This hip hop, these sports, and all of that is darkness. There's darkness. That is so far away from the light of the law. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We so far away from being enlightened with God's laws. We are dealing with darkness. For real, you gotta think too, cause we ain't get to this, but a lot of these rich athletes and successful artists or whatever, a lot of them tend to deal with depression. You know what I'm saying? Heavy drug usage. They be in abusive relationship. They deal with domestic violence, stuff like that, because behind them closed doors of them 4-story houses and them hills and all of that, they life be in darkness. They got a lot of dark secrets. And so I'm telling you, like, you got to think, remember the ratio, and this was in 1987.
Right.
1 million.
Right. 400,000.
400,000.
4,000.
7 to 4. So you got to think, in order to make that cut, to beat out 999,996 other people just like you, you're going to have to make some type of sacrifices.
Facts.
You're going to have to do something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to give up something. I was talking about that with my wife because the Bad Hair movie made me think. We was talking about Rihanna, and I was telling her, like, how powerful the media is, right? Where they can make you think what is fine and what is beautiful.
Right.
Because I was having a conversation with my homeboy a long time ago, right? And we was talking, I was like, bro, Rihanna, you know what I'm saying? And no disrespect and nothing like that. But Rihanna, you know, the forehead and Like she,
Forehead
like
got
if she
small
went to
afterwards,
school
too.
with us, she wouldn't like.
Right.
Like what is all the admiration and all that? Like,
Right.
I don't
yeah,
see it.
I ain't never seen it. I was always lost when it came to her. But, you know, he was like, no, bro, like, she bad. I'm like, where? He like, bro, she just bad.
Yeah.
Like,
She
she
little worn
just
out.
fine. She just bad. No, her
in your
image
face.
in a way, they push her in a, you know what I'm saying? How she's sensationalized on that
famous.
screen.
She in your face, bro.
And that you are forced to think
Yes.
that she's bad, that she's that desirable.
Yes.
Right.
All them followers, the views, the sales,
Yes.
her popularity. She gotta be bad. It's something. Her name is Bad Girl Riri.
And that's heavy
damn.
because that's heavy. The ball players that makes sense because why you think the ball players deal with the same women because of the popular persuasion in the past. Yo,
Right.
Kim K, yeah, she fine. Yeah, she fine. Yeah, everybody hitting her because the popular persuasion say she fine. So they keep
She
dealing
fine.
with the same woman that got that persona of beauty.
Damn.
Facts.
For real. I finished this script.
Against spiritual wickedness in high places.
Against spiritual wickedness in high places. We think that, an artist or an athlete, once they get on or once they get a contract, they in a high place. It's always somebody in a way higher place that is paying them.
Right.
That is employing them. For real. And that's the spiritual
Right.
wickedness in high places. They make sure that you compromise your morals. You know what I'm saying? Your love for your people.
Yo, God.
Exactly.
Right.
Mainly your God. You compromise everything to fit their agenda.
Right.
They have created a culture for black people that is purely their agenda to continue to remain over us. Just like we was on a plantation is no different. It's no different. Remember, I'm telling y'all, Industrial Revolution and all of that machinery, we don't need the niggas in the field no more, so how we going to keep them low?
Right.
We gonna get them money, but we gonna make them make us a whole lot more. But we gonna destroy them to the point to where they think that little bit that they getting is a whole damn lot.
Big facts.
And only so many of them is gonna get that little that they think is a lot. So it's gonna be a lot of them doing a lot of wickedness to get that little that they think is a lot. So a lot of them gonna die, go to jail.
Hey,
I'm telling you,
right there where we need them.
a little, a lot, a little.
I need
a
to
lot.
read one thing.
Go ahead.
All right, go to Matthew 19. Because you was talking about the principalities in the darkness. They went so dark. When you got all this money, this fame, you so dark, you far away from God. This is why Christ said this about a rich man right here. Read verse 22.
The
Start
book
there.
of Matthew, chapter 19, verse 22.
Uh-huh.
But when the young man heard that saying, he went away sorrowful.
Right, because he had to give up possessions. Come on.
For he had great possessions.
Man, he was famous. He had all this money. He got, man, I got the cars, I got the clothes, I got the hoes, I got all of it. He had to give this up. Come on.
Then said Jesus unto his disciples,
Uh-huh.
Verily I say unto you, that a rich man shall hardly enter into the kingdom
It's
of
gonna
heaven.
be hard for this person to enter to the kingdom of heaven because they so dark. They so far away from God because what Esau but what Esau has pushed, they strayed away from God. Now their God is Esau because Esau is providing everything for them. But jump down, keep going.
Verse 24.
Uh-huh.
And again I say unto you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of God.
That's why the Most High said this. It's gonna be it's easier for you if you know the history of that. It was a traveling passage for a camel, and they had to get down on all fours and go through this little needle eye shaped passage. It's easier for a camel to get on all fours than for a rich man to humble down to the word of God to enter to the kingdom of heaven, to give up some stuff.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard, like you said, to humble down and all of that when you rich, because it say that would be rich will fall into snares, meaning a trap. When you think about it, like the dude said on the clip, "Run, nigga, run."
Damn.
He said, "Is you going for the money?
Mhm.
Or is you going for the knowledge?" Because seeking knowledge, you know what I'm saying, it's an understanding that, that's the real
Benefit, like
Right.
no, that's the fear of the enemy of us having knowledge. Because for one, okay, you got two different knowledges. You got the knowledge they teach you in school,
Right.
Right.
and you got the knowledge of the God laws,
Yes,
right?
sir.
So they afraid of us getting both. Because when we get one, we create stuff like Black Wall Street. We become self-sufficient. We sustain ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We learn how to be our own doctors, teachers, lawyers. You see what I'm saying? Now we're no longer dependent on them, and that their fear of being overthrown is there.
Right.
Then with God laws, then you understanding your power source. You know what I'm saying? The promises made by God. They know that the reason why they have control over you is because of Bible prophecy, Deuteronomy 28. So if that was what happened because of your disobedience, they know what's going to come behind your obedience.
Right.
And that's them being overthrown. So either way it go, the black man seeking knowledge will end up in them being overthrown. So
Yeah, they
we've been
scared.
taught that money is above knowledge, and that's a trap. You know what I'm saying? That's a trap, and it'd be hard to get out of because you get to a certain point and you see and you realize that it's not worth it. That's why I said them athletes, them rich people, them successful people, they be living in darkness. They be battling demons. They be depressed because they know at the end of the day, all of that money, it didn't profit their soul anything. For real. So
Hey, all
that
praise to
script
the
heavy.
Most High.
But yeah, so damn, yeah, we went way over the day. All praise to the Lord. But this a heavy topic.
Right. It is.
This topic, I'm telling you, bruh, the black culture was created by the so-called white man.
That's right.
Master. He mastered this thing. You know what I'm saying?
He
Right.
mastered
To where you, to where you really thinking you've been deceived to thinking like, this us, this black, this for us, by us, this black.
Right.
No,
And that's why
hell no.
that's why
you
they
so
think-
far from your true culture.
Right. I was gonna say that's why they think they God, because they mastered this and we made it, we did all this. That's why they can think that. But hey, understand y'all, it's gonna change because the prophets, we trying to wake you up. All praise to the
That's
Most High for
right.
that. Officer Ezra?
Oh yeah.
Close it
So make sure if you want to learn some more about who you are according to the Bible, get in contact with us. Our contact information for the school is 855-484-4842. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. Check out all the other shows. Raven and Wolves, Escaping the Plantation, all of that. Extension 75. I said that, didn't I? Oh, extension 751 on that 855-484-4842, by the way. And yeah, hey, make sure you put your teacher to the test. If you got one, your preacher, whoever, bring them. Okay, and maybe next week we might have some special guests on here.
Hey.
For y'all, Lord's willing.
Hey.
Lord's willing.
Hey, so look, I want to pull one more scripture, then we're going to end it. Acts 17:6, because you got to think, bro, when you look at the world today, we are so caught up in the stuff that we went over.
Caught up.
You got to hop on social media right now. It's like, you would think like it's no hope. You know what I'm saying?
Like we just went a whole extra hour and something over, and then
Yeah.
with the same trend and stuff.
Nah, it's no hope. Like you look at the sports fanatics and how deep they is into it. You know what I'm saying? Like every time my dad, he know what I'm into in my life. It's becoming a little less. But every time he called me, it's about sports.
Damn.
For decades. You know what I'm
The
saying?
hell is this?
Like, why do life and conversation for us revolve around sports and hip hop? You see what I'm saying? So you would think like it's over. Remember they said it would take a phenomenon to break this. But this is what we doing with Let's Talk Truth Radio. This is what we doing in IUIC. Read that.
The book of Acts, chapter 17, verse 6. And when they found them not, they drew Jason and certain brethren unto the rulers of the city, crying, these that have turned the world upside down.
Have what?
Have turned the world upside down.
Have turned the world upside down.
That's right.
Bring
You
it
gotta
on.
think. Me personally, I watch sports every day. For real,
I
I
know
woke
what you
up, my
mean.
TV was on Sports Center. Yeah, I was like that.
Facts.
I was a sports head. I was also a music head. I knew all the rappers before everybody else, before they
You know
came
their
on the
real
radio.
name.
Yeah,
Okay.
but all of that, like I was like that. But now, you know what I'm saying? I can't tell you. I can't tell you who the best point guard in the NBA right now.
Hell no.
You know what I'm saying? I can't
can?
tell you. I can't tell you who was the best running back in the league last year. For
had that
real,
league.
I can't tell you who the main rapper on the radio right now. I say
can't
Lil
tell you.
Baby though. I guess maybe.
Is it? Is that who it is?
It probably
why?
is.
Listen, I
'Cause
can't
his
tell you
name
the
Why would you
difference
do that?
between
Why would you do any
a
of that?
college team and a pro team. I can't do that. Brothers be laughing at me.
Hey, so you gotta think. It's all it take. Remember, the kingdom is like the faith of a mustard seed.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? It starts small. All of us that you see was on that side. It seems it's no way that's gonna turn over.
Right.
But
it
slowly
will.
but surely, the world is being turned upside down by teaching the Bible.
That's right.
That's how powerful the word of God is. You waking up to these laws, your true heritage, your true purpose, you'll start to see the scales will be removed from your eyes. You'll start to see how
right.
meaningless and unprofitable these things is that they call black culture once you learn Israelite culture.
That's
Right.
right.
We turning the world upside down.
right.
For real.
Hey,
Because that's what we turning it right side up. Because the Esau turned it upside down when they got in power. They turned the mightiest, strongest, smartest men in the world to the weakest, most effeminate,
Base.
idiot, dumb niggas. They turned the most modest, loving, beautiful women into the wretched, disgusting, shameless thoughts.
Come on now,
They turned
dawg.
this thing upside down.
Right.
What are we doing with the laws of God? We turning this thing right side up. And they couldn't imagine. I thought we made them think it was the white man's book. I thought we didn't know that it was white people in the book. How did they unlock that thing? I'm telling you,
Right.
but that's what's going on. The revolution would not be televised. It's happening right before your eyes.
That right.
That's
For
right.
real.
That's right.
So, hey, y'all better wake up, man. While we still here, before he say come up hither, y'all better hearken, bro. I'm telling you, we talking truth. This the real truth. It's not economics. It's not Umar Johnson. It's not the black woman is God.
Hell no.
All right, I'm telling you, y'all better. This the
Stay
truth
in your
right
lane.
here. This the truth.
That's right.
Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all a pet peeve that I got too. Stop saying we made it to the finals. Stop saying
I hate that.
we going to the Super Bowl.
I do hate that.
My team.
My team, we beating y'all. We ain't y'all playing us.
Hell no.
I
Bruh, you
hate-
ain't never been on the field.
Man.
Hey, let
You,
them know, bruh.
you ain't never talked to the coach.
Hey,
Look,
look.
hey, look,
bruh.
hold on. Look, you, remember earlier the brother in the video?
Yeah.
It says 70% of NFL players are black.
Right.
15% of the NFL coaches are black.
Right.
0 of NFL CEOs
Right.
and presidents are black. Stop with that we stuff. You ain't
My team.
stop.
It ain't we.
Hey,
You
also,
played yourself.
Remember, and you not one of them 7 out of 1,000,000.
Hell no.
So it's not
You
your
can't
team.
hoop.
It's not your team.
You not that good.
South, shut the hell up.
I don't know what's happening.
Anyways, y'all.
Come on
Hey,
now,
hey,
Take it off a like it. What
hey,
you doing?
this Let's Talk Truth, y'all. Hey,
We
we
do
gotta
love
get
y'all.
out of here. We love y'all. Tune in next week. We're gonna have some fire. Hey, the Let's Talk
Right.
Truth.
That's right.
Shalom.
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 is fire.
They screaming peace when there ain't no peace. Israel prophesying in the streets. Look at me, the center of attention. Black Messiah coming with a vengeance. Coming with a vengeance. Black Messiah coming with a vengeance. They screaming peace, it ain't no peace. We prophesying in the streets.
We seeking peace in the streets of Babylon. Brandishing Glock 40s, tucking heat like a carry-on. Sinning against the fathers, got us sleeping, not napping on. Christ the King revealed, that's aerial phenomenon. Kicking against the bricks, lose your soul when that fire come. We purify better than gold, got my Bible on. And that's all that I know, we're in Babylon. Don't fall, watch it blow, ayy. Switching it up, the nation's gon' drink it. I'm talking the cup, don't care what you thinking. Believe in the gospel, God is thinking. The fires of heaven gon' gather for dinner. The ear of the flesh, the wicked, the sinner. Your mama, your sister, your daddy, your cousin. If they issue, if they mind, they don't repent.
They screaming peace when there ain't no peace. Israel prophesying in the streets. Look at me, the center of attention. Black Messiah coming with a vengeance. Coming with a vengeance. Black Messiah coming with a vengeance. They screaming peace, it ain't no peace.